My channel's a geezer channel.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
You got a bunch of geezers watching me.
I simply asked. I said, I wish I could have that dry maggot. I mean, you know what that is. No. I simply asked. I said, I wish I could have that dry maggot. I mean, you know what that is.
Life and Vibe, thanks so much. My queen, my Sarasota Tim expert.
Oh, hey. Yeah, you caught me. Trying to get my palate, my whistle wet before I start talking. Happy Saturday, the 21st of February. And it's been feeling like spring here in the city of Virginia Beach. My name's Ray, otherwise known as Life and Vibe, the Sarasota Tim expert. I'm trying to get my camera to look half decent over here. Hi, everybody. Nice to see everybody. Let me put your comments up so that everybody can see you guys. And if you haven't had a chance, I didn't even think of a poll yet. I need to think of a poll. Maybe we'll Sarasota Tim forget his microphone again. And if you haven't had a chance coming in today, make sure to hit the like, subscribe. There might even be one of those weird hype buttons. And you know what? I'm going to give you guys a round of applause for doing that for me. So thank you. Thank you. Yeah. So here we are. It's Saturday. And from St. Louis. Oh, we got the infamous, any relation to St. Louis Scott? He's one of Tim's infamous I'm moving the camera. I never know what to do. Hey, Z-Car, come on in. You work at the shelter for homeless veterans. I had a gentleman who was 85, worked at Cracker Barrel. Well, you know, he just is all about a prison job. He obviously has not been listening to Sarasota Tim's Social Security videos. So we're going to start off actually with a palate cleanser first this Saturday morning. For those of you who are not members of the Life and Vibe community, some of the emojis actually are going to work pretty well for today because Sarasota is walking a lot on the beach at Coquina Beach. We may take a look at that seashell one because there are certain laws, especially because Tim starts going on about sand dollars. Yeah, the dogs are going. Why every time now? This is becoming like out of control, Junebug. Junebug, please just get a toy. Why? Yeah, nobody. Yeah, you're showing off. You're worse than Tim. She needs more attention than Tim. So Tim has got a variety of videos. Let's just share the screen with Tim real fast because JJ covered one this morning, and it's one I also wanted to cover too. Let's actually just go to his main channel here. Okay, so let's look at his videos. He's been the wind on his videos. I mean, I obviously have these dogs being absolutely rambunctious behind me, but Tim, for being the professional YouTube creator that he is, you're coming in from North Carolina? Nice to see you. I'm not far from North Carolina myself in here in Virginia Beach. We're not too far from the North Carolina border here. In fact, I continue to look at houses in North Carolina, in Moyock. So I saw a house that I really liked on an acre of land, real pretty. And not in an HOA community, out in the country there, next to like farm fields and stuff. Though I always wonder, you know, if they sell the farm fields. But anyway, I'm always looking to, so, you know, hopefully at some point this year, the condo will be packed and we'll be moving into an extended stay. And then we'll just pull the trigger and move. I think we're going to be doing that at some point. I think that's on the horizon here. So, but anyway, we're not here to listen to my home shopping. All right. So Tim has just been forgetting his microphone, and we're not going to try to listen to too many. I'll tell you the videos we're going to listen to today. We're going to go over this dreadful Social Security. Yes, we are. He's been out burning steaks. Is this good to be bored? I don't think we're going to cover this one. 37 minutes. The only thing I'm going to be bored of is listening to Tim by the end of this video. I promise you, I tried to listen to that one and I gave out. Okay. I might have had it on the background. And then he starts showing, you know, homes being built in Bradenton that he's not going to be purchasing. Tim fantasy shopping again. And then he does this Coquina Beach. This must be terrible. He didn't even get 1,000 views on this one. Here we've got a walk and talk in Bradenton Beach for 20 minutes. And then he's just like, I can't do the killing of the food. I don't eat meat, so it's like particularly hard for me. Then he goes out early to the beach. He's obviously trying to not be home. I wonder why Tim isn't staying home. Move west? Move west? Oh, I mean, I would like to move west for allergy purposes. It'd probably do great for my hair too. But I have to say, I'm an East Coast girl. I would miss the mountains and the water. It would be hard for me to not be there. If anything, I'm going to be, you know, on a river or something. I'm not straying far from my stomping grounds. I've learned the older you get, the less you want to be distancing yourself from anybody who cares about you, you know, and that's something I think that Tim is learning. I have very few friends left remaining, and it's harder as we get older, I think, to make friends. I mean, I have a great community here, but I wouldn't try to do parasocial relationships with you guys like Tim does. We're just here having a crack and a laugh in the morning, you know, but I'm not trying to think about does Life and Vibe drink alcohol? And if I do I drink alcohol? That's an interesting question. I do actually like to have a beverage on occasion when I go out with my friends. Generally, it's either a sour craft beer or it's a very nice craft cocktail. So probably something with a locally made vodka or something of that nature, like real frou-frou with like 14 sprigs of basil in it, from a farm to table restaurant. It's got to be something like that. I'm not going to be doing something like uh, anything. My friends actually know that I'm pretty allergic to alcohol. Is that I can only drink but so much, like very little, and I actually get physically sick. So, and that's been something that's kept me thankfully sober through most of my life. I can enjoy a drink, but I can't really drink to any extent. Like I can't sit and do like glasses of wine and stuff. I would keel over. It's a dry martini for you. That sounds delicious. Dry martinis. Yeah. Yeah. So, yeah, that does sound good. Well, some people might be having a brunch drink today. And I'm somebody who's like a frou-frou liqueur drink. So, if it's like a chocolate liqueur or like Bailey's came out with all these different almond milk and oat milk and different flavored Bailey's liqueurs. People think you add it to something. No, those are things that I sip on. So just a real girl. So yeah. I like milk drinks and stuff. So yeah. Yeah, nothing exciting. But fancy. Like I can't do beers like hardcore beers or IPAs or anything like that. Like, oh yeah, or shots or like mention the word like when I first moved to the United States and people were taking shots of that Jägermeister, I thought I was going to vomit. That stuff was disgusting. Okay, you like liqueurs? I do too. You can't have them now. Well, yeah, they're very. You have to watch the show. You like a Tom Collins? You like a mudslide? Oh, see, that's something that would be up my street. A mudslide. Like I love it. White Russians are something that I really enjoy having. And they make a lot of those. Like they had like peppermint White Russians or whatever at this restaurant I go to with my girlfriend. And so she and I, when we catch up, that's where we go. And they do like, happy hour on the craft cocktails, like $2 off a very expensive drink already. But I do love some restaurants here in Virginia Beach. But the same one. I'm really boring. My friend and I we've for the last, I don't even know how many years now. It's probably been 6 years that we have enjoyed happy hour at the same restaurant. And we tried so many other places. We went to so many other happy hours. And because we love a good happy hour, because we're early girls. We're coming out of work. We just want to go grab a bite to eat and a cocktail and go home and enjoy the rest of our night and get ready for work the next day. And it's something that we tried because obviously we live here at the oceanfront, and my friend is not a seafood person. So I live obviously at the beach, and there are some great happy hours, especially in the wintertime, at hotel restaurants and stuff right on the oceanfront. Like there's one I would love to go to. And my friend does not do seafood though. And so the likelihood of getting her into this place that's primarily like a sushi bar on the oceanfront is very rare. So, but thank you for asking. That was a nice, fun conversation. Let me know in the chat what you guys do. If you get out and enjoy a happy hour, whether this Saturday you're going to be going out and enjoying a cocktail somewhere and enjoying it. Last night was like that like spring, that really beautiful like spring-like weather just before they're expecting this like huge snowfall here in Virginia. It's going to get wild. So yeah, I'm hoping not. I don't need my friends to try to blow down again. I'm trying to get that thing fixed. I don't even have time to do that. All right. So we've got Tim just bringing out this picture. Like Tim really went out for that one. He did it looks like Tim actually did a picture that is a portrait picture and put it with it behind his head so he can get a decent shot. Looks like he redyed his hair recently too, in my opinion, because he suddenly got real dark on top. I think Tim does use a rinse. This morning chat on the beach, you can't hear a single thing he says. This is terrible. If you want your ears blown out, listen to these two videos. And then Tim comes out again. This isn't the worst. We'll take a look at this one. He again forgot his microphone. And I just don't understand, after 2 days of just the worst videos, how would he have it again? And then the Wawa. The Wawa is actually, believe it or not, the most boring video. Hey, come on in. You're a mojito? Oh, mojito. That's a pretty good drink. There's a very good Cuban restaurant that does mojitos, and they have like a mojito special night. Very good. I have to say, their food, their plantains and ajo salt. Oh, to die for. You have to go in the wintertime around here. Trying to do anything once the tourist season starts is impossible. And also, we get a lot of really good specials. Tim's smile and cheer has been more phony than usual lately. It's so funny that you're Roscoe 1972. I have a dog called Roscoe. Yes, he's been just, I almost thought when he started talking about his health information and, talking about health and longevity and all of this, and Dinger pointed it out, this hashtag aging, and he's trying to get on this, somebody who eschews Tim's favorite word, any advice from any type of medical or healthcare professional. And I always want to preface that I know people love to tease me for it, but I think it's important to know if you're new to this channel, because hopefully if you guys hit the likes, people sometimes find us live streaming and they get into the story and, and they don't know that I'm actually here, a registered nurse here in the United States. I've been licensed since 2011 as a CNA, or 2012. So no, 2011. And then I got my full RN license in 2014. And I've been practicing ever since. And so I'm coming up to 12 years. And I was an educator, a school teacher before that. And so I've spent my life educating and being licensed to try to do things in proper ethical ways. Tim is somebody who left high school at 16 to run away back home to his mother in California and found himself becoming married and a father before he had even, fully finished puberty. And so I think it's ironic that he feels that he has any type of expertise other than the fact that he is getting older and ignoring his doctor's advice and asking questions to AI. And this is where I just think these influencer types are just, absolutely willing to just dish out trash. And Tim's going to talk about his own literal trash, and he's going to try to talk about illegally dumping his trash all around Florida because he's forgetful. And he doesn't keep a routine. And so he's always talking about what a good Christian he is and what a good person he is. But then he's always trying to figure out, how can he illegally dump something? How can he, film in places he's not supposed to film in? Just things to make Tim's life easier. How can he avoid paying taxes? How can he get more money out of the taxpayers? How can he have literally bumped his way through life doing the least amount of work as possible and then stand here at 67 years old and think he knows everything? And he thinks he's an expert on everything. I think we need to say in 2026, these talking head types like Tim, who are just listening to AI or watching other people's actual content who do have areas of expertise, we need to say no. And my area of expertise is pointing out people that I can tell are fraudulent and then finding receipts on the fact that they shouldn't be out here giving good information. And anybody who's a member of mine, drop in the chat like the little computer with the investigative thing on it for the members. Let's get some member emojis going so people will want to come. Because in the community, I mean, it gets wild in the members only. We had a members only yesterday. Can't say everything, but if you're part of the members only, the things that I actually do with the channel to really, try to ensure that we're not having like the dregs. And I hate to say that because I don't want to sound like a snob because people already call me the B word, but that's okay because, they acted that way first. People who should not be having platforms making money because they're literal con artists, or people who did SA to children, or there's so many of these scammers. I hear, I'm glad that probably a lot of us don't spend our time on TikTok and I'm going to talk about a retirement course scam that's been going on and all sorts of different types of scams that affect really people of all sort of age, generation, and interests, because lots of scams happen with the younger people, but there's all sorts of just, people showing homes that aren't theirs and saying they're for rent when somebody's actually owning and living in them, and, trying to scam people out of deposits. I mean, it's just constant. And Tim's is a little bit more of an old school where he is acting like a sales guy. He's trying to be like a QVC. But then once he gets these items, and we're going to show today too with receipts, that Tim has continued to obviously list his items on Facebook, but now he's having to do a real fire sale too. Thank you for all the computers. Yeah, how do you know to video Tim's in it? I know. I mean, it was ironic he talked about being bored. He's trying to hit everything. And hashtag aging. I mean, I would not take anti-aging advice from Sarasota Tim. I know people want to say I don't look good. Promise you, if I put makeup on and put contacts in, dressed up a wee bit, I'd be looking a lot less like your favorite auntie. And I could glam up real fast if I wanted to, comparatively to Tim. Because I haven't fried myself in the sun the way Tim has, even though I live at a beach. Still put sunscreen on. All right. Let's do a quick palate cleanser because Tim is, I did want to share this because I forget sometimes because I get all excited. So let me share this with you real fast because I needed to share this, and then we will move on, because I've always said we're gonna share a little palate cleanser before we get into Tim. And it's not really a palate cleanser and I don't want to cry because this dog is probably going to be rescued, but I just always say adopt, don't shop. I've wanted to start highlighting more dogs that need rescues. There's some real scammy things on here with dogs, but I always make sure that it's an actual puppy that is actually needing a home. So I'm going to share this tab. We're going to look at Sour Patch real quick as a little palate cleanser, and let's then get into the Tim Reacts. No, it might have. Sorry, I had to mute because June Bugs is going to go off. But this is Sour Patch. She's available in Atlanta, Georgia. She is tiny and she is on the euthanasia list. I did leave this link in my description box. If you could please share Sour Patch's story. One of the reasons why I do have this channel is, I know I don't want to make people sad before we get started, is because at some point I have 2 rescue pit bulls. And really, I was able to get Roscoe thanks to this community support. And as much as people want to say that I shouldn't be having dogs and having a channel, I'm not the first creator to have that. And I think if anything that's good is going to happen with anything from this channel, it's, in my personal opinion, saving the lives of dogs. Because I already saved the lives of people. in my work and work with pediatric kids. So I do good work with people already. And this is the other thing that fills my heart. So just want to let you guys know that. All right, let's get back over to Tim. So thank you for letting me share a little Sour Patch. And if you guys can take the time to share that. And she looks beautiful. So yeah, he doesn't take care of his eyes, his skin. He didn't like, so thank you. You've been Mary Kale is a really awesome nurse. Thank you, Mary Kale. Thank you. And hey, come on in. All right, guys, let's get to Tim's first video. We're going to kind of actually I think we're going to work our way kind of backwards because it doesn't really matter with Tim, the order of anything. We're actually going to start with his the Wawa and all the violations he made here because he's such a good guy. And then we'll take a look at his seashell and take a look at what they say about shells in Florida. Because Tim is just somebody who just thinks that he's above everything. I think that's the term. Like, hold on, Tim. We're trying to get you over here, mate. We're going to put him in a 1.5 speed. And I'm going to make sure I laugh as much as possible. I mean, I feel like this looks like Virginia Beach, too, in certain roads. We have a lot of, old roads in Virginia Beach. So obviously we have a lot of roadworks that are currently occurring. And so it has to happen, these roads, especially if they're hit with, tremendous amounts of hurricane type weather and really getting beaten by weather. They're going to certainly need to be repaired.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Sarasota team.
Oh,
And I'll slow down those wipers.
I should say, see how many violations that you can see. Because at one point, I think I see Tim turn on a red left. He does a left turn on red. See, spot how many, every time you see a violation, let's think of a game. Okay. Every time you see Tim trying to break a law, or like a law, or tries to violate a statute or do something he should not be doing, drop, what can we say in the the word, Tim, I don't know. What should we put in here? Police. Drop the word police in the chat because we're policing Tim this morning, like Policeman Dan and his friend Policeman Dawn. So just drop police in the chat every time Tim does something he shouldn't be doing in this video. Well, probably you should already have police in here now, because YouTube doesn't like you filming and talking in the car. That's a terms of service no. I don't know. Violator. No, that'd be a terrible word. So we could just say police. We're the police. It's just for fun.
They're going to have to stay on. I just left the house and it is foggy. Every morning, it's like it rained 6 inches because everything is soaking wet. Is this the Wawa? No, it's Texaco. Where'd that come from? I'm looking for Wawa. I think it's right here. I'm going to get some coffee. We're going to go over to the beach. It is, time check. It is 6:47. And I think sunrise is like 7:08, 7:10.
Oh, yeah. That was something I wanted to mention too before I forgot. There was a video. He saw the police and made a sharp right. Yeah, he left the house. Yeah. Speeding in the construction zone. Police. We can put siren. It's ironic because he did a video. I think I'll point it out. We won't listen to it. It was one of his morning chats, supposedly. But his blinds were completely down, and it looked like it was pitch black in the middle of the night. Did not look like a morning light, unless Tim was up at 3 a.m. It was black outside. So I don't think that Tim was making a morning chat video. And he probably hid the clock that morning. But it was pitch black because we do sometimes think that Tim pre-records stuff and then calls it like morning chat, and then he'll still be drinking like coffee and at the middle of the night. He don't care. It's a prop. That's why I think he says he doesn't drink as much coffee as he says he does, because it's just a prop. Okay. I think he breaks a light at some point here.
Just after 7. So we're going to get over there. It's a Saturday. If you don't crush it early, you're not going to get in over there at Coquina. And then maybe after that, we'll ride down the Ocean Avenue Boulevard there. I don't know what they call it, but all the way down to Lido Key, through Longboat Key.
I wonder why, Tim is so urgent to get out of his house at the moment. You think he'd want to be home trying to sell his Facebook items? Do you think he tries to get out and film in the morning and then gets out and tries to do his Facebook selling in the day? I'm curious. What do you guys think?
To the other end, come back across Ringling Bridge and check out Lido Beach too, and St. Armand's and stuff. It's a Saturday, and I want some coffee. I had a cup this morning. It was delicious. And I was listening to some stuff I'm going to talk about on YouTube. You know what? You can't believe a damn thing they say. You know what? You can't also, I know the secret though. You cannot turn here. So what you do is you go into Starbucks, okay, like this, and then you.
I think we need a police here, because Tim is literally, this video is great. Tim is literally, see how he's going to the beach in the rain. Yep. He just ran a stale yellow light. Yep. That's right. And now he's using the Starbucks parking lot as a cut through. I don't think you're supposed to do that. Use like retailers' parking lots as like cut through. Illegal U-turns. Yeah, there could be a significant reason he's suddenly up and out of the trail first thing in the morning. There might be, actually. You could drop a emoji of me with a thumbs up if you like. You could do that. You could drop thumbs up. I have an emoji with the thumbs up. You drop the emojis. We got walking shoes to show that Tim's walking. All sorts of fun stuff. So make sure you join the Life and Vibe memberships. I'm telling you, we're getting some fun over there. All right. And if not, just hit the likes. It's a free way to help the channel grow. Help people find me laughing over
Come
there.
out.
Tim, look at this.
Over on the main road here. First, you got to roll the window down so you can see, because you can't see anything with all the moisture and dew. Then you come out here and go back across, and that's how you get into the Wawa. Which is right up here on the right. See, I came from where that. Anyway, you can't turn in from there, and you can't make a U-turn with this thing. Oh, my trash is on the back again. I cannot remember to.
So Tim can't turn around on this hulking. He can't turn around on this thing. No, he cannot. He cannot turn around. He's being an absolute menace during these Bradenton road works. That's why JJ's got like the Bradenton traffic camera on his channel sometimes going. And we're looking to see what illegal actions Tim does. Yeah, you get a thumbs down. He's getting a thumbs down because of his driving in the he's a menace. Oh yeah, Tim acting like he doesn't know the trash is in his truck. So yeah, Tim once again, completely forgets he's got trash in the truck. He's got his rubbish back there.
To put the dang trash in the dumpster before. Oh gosh, there's the police.
Uh-oh. He's like, oh, let me turn away from them. For a man who says he never does anything wrong, he suddenly seems nervous about the police. Right as he saw the police, he was talking about the fact that he was going to dump his trash. And listen to where he's thinking about dumping his trash. Public dumping is illegal, Tim. JJ did a video about it this morning. I'd already obviously had planned because I think we've all seen the fact that Tim is once again going to illegally dump his trash. You are not to go with your home refuse and go take it and dump it at retailers and have them pay to haul your trash. That's not allowed. And they will photograph you and they will get you for public dumping. Oh, they do. He just always says he forgets. He's just because he's such a squirrel in his mind, I think. If he's so distracted, he needs to write a list.
They're having their coffee. We're gonna have to find somewhere to put this trash.
Yes, Tim. In your RV park, why don't you do the right thing and turn around? You're not that far from where you live. I can't show because people think I dox you, but we can always show it in the members only. That's where we can show Tim's RV park and all that good stuff without getting told for doxing.
I think I'll put it over here.
Just gonna say, come join us.
I think I'll put it right in.
It's only $2.99 a month, and you support the legal actions being taken against Sarasota Tim.
Garbage over here. I tell you what, man, unless you put that on the hood of your car, and I said this morning, put it on the hood. I go, nah, you'll remember. Can't remember. It's back here in the back. All right, let's go get some coffee. I think I'm gonna take it to a dumpster. I'm not gonna put it in here. Let me throw it in my truck.
The way it's on there. Oh my God! Do you see the way it was on there? That could have just flown off. Yeah. Load to self. Mike, 0. Mike. He never remembers the mic because he has no mic today. Trash. On the top of that could have flown off. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's just a rage, but he wanted it to fly off. Gross. He is a societal menace.
Get the water off the bottom. Put it in the back of the truck here, and I'll take it to a dumpster at a grocery store.
What was that? He's going to take it to a dumpster at a grocery store. I'm going to read that back, because this shouldn't be allowed. And this is why I just think he shouldn't even get anything at YouTube. This is why we just, I know it's, what? That's why I'm okay with people saying that I'm a bitch or something hateful about me, because it's just going to bring people to my channel. I love free advertising. Does it seem that in the world of social media, the worse person you are, sometimes the more supporters you get? So maybe I should just be a terrible, terrible person in the community against all these guys.
Water off the bottom. Put it in the back of the truck here, and I'll take it to a dumpster at a grocery store.
Oh, yeah. Okay, great. Yeah, because he sees the police and the other stuff. Now, Wawa has policies about they don't want you filming inside. And Tim has been told not to do this. And what does Tim say? Oh, I'm a good Christian. Let me do whatever I want.
Here we go into the Wawa.
All about me. It's Sarasota
Wawa
Tim.
coffee.
Yeah.
Let's get us a big one. Definitely a big one.
He's shady.
What kind of cream do we have? All kinds of sugar. I don't want sugar. Maybe some powder cream. Let's see what we got. I think you can get a little bit more in that cup. Come on, man. You can get some more in there. Smile. This guy's got his money for it. I don't see powdered cream. They only have liquid cream. So, let's see what they got in here. What is it? What does that say? Half and half? I like a lot.
Yeah.
What kind of coffee?
Okay, and think about it, guys. This is Tim, health expert. Just before Tim walked into the Wawa, he pulled his trash can bag. that was on the back of his truck flying through. He took it off. He said it was wet. So if it was already wet on the bottom, makes me always think, did he have it on the top of that thing overnight? You know, was that something he put out overnight because it was that damp? Because that's, you know, or was the rain that heavy? And then he took his hand and he shook out the thing. Doesn't put any hand sanitizer on, you know. I do carry hand sanitizer in the car. Put the trash in the back of his car and then goes and touches all this at the Wawa. Sometimes why touch everything with a napkin and stuff. That's why these things are sometimes like hard. That's why sometimes paying a little bit for the, I guess, the Starbucks where you just have one person behind the counter with a set of gloves on is better than this. This guy just used that hand to touch the trash.
Let's find out. Regular Cuban rose, 100% Colombian. I feel like a Colombian today.
Well, I don't, you know, technically anything that's to trash is not clean, you know. I still don't think that anybody wants to think that somebody was just handling their trash and then touching everything at the coffee bowl. Especially one that he said was wet. He was shaking the water off of it. I don't know. That's why I touch everything with a napkin. I'm just saying. It's just, this is what we're watching. And he thinks he's such an influencer. Gross. I'm just grossed out. I'm sorry. I'm grossed out. I know my trash isn't very filthy either. I keep a very small trash receptacle and I take my trash out once or twice a day. So my house never smells like trash.
Oh, everyone I always get is empty. Every time. Every time.
These influences you.
This one's empty. But you got the answer, huh? Minute and a half? Let me see if I can just keep dripping.
No.
Maybe I can just drip it out.
I don't think so.
It's actually coming. Oh, that was it.
I don't think so. I don't think we could bribe any of his people. There's been enough people that have known him through the channel who have let people know that Tim is very much his way or the highway. And if he doesn't get his way, he gets pissy.
I'm going to do a blend. I'll just mix it.
We already have receipts.
Who will know? Nobody will know. Look at that. Put a little regular, top it off. Look at this, folks. Huh? Let's get us a lid. First, let's try it.
I know.
Make sure it's good. One lid fits all? Yeah. Okay.
You know, as healthcare workers, very caught up. Oh, it was a tough watching somebody handle trash and then just come touch the coffee stuff. Not even sanitize the hands. My hands are so messed up from just constantly washing them. I have 2 bottles of hand sanitizer in my car alone, you know, so that if I'm touching like the gas pumps or anything and I get in my car, sanitize my hands. And then the first thing I do when I get home is wash my hands.
Oops.
God, he's
slurping
in the counter. No. Now he's slurping at the counter. So we've just had, you know, well, sometimes when you're out on the road, you've got to use the hand sanitizer. That's all I've got. You know, after I've touched the gas pump, even though I touched the gas pump, sometimes I have a glove with me, you know, my gloves from work. If not, it's a paper towel. And then obviously I have to sanitize my hands because I don't want to touch the wheel of my car. And then I have to wash my hands. So it's not the best, but it's just the best thing I've got at the time, because I'm going to be potentially, you know, still doing stuff. And it's flu season. I don't want to get sick. All right. I already felt run down from trying to save my fence the other week. Okay. Oh my God. He's slipping at the counter though, too. So rude.
Can't be Wawa talking, man.
They don't want to film in there, Sam.
I'm not going to be able to do this. So that was pretty cool in there. You know, I used to come in here all the time and make some videos. And
see, he couldn't go to the counter. Okay. So listen to excuse about what Tim's going to say about filming in Wawa. And then let's look at Wawa's filming policies.
I had to use my phone to pay. I mean, I had my wallet in my pocket, but I had my phone on me and I said, I'm just going to use my Apple Pay. And there were several people in line in front of me. mostly Hispanic people, like going to work on Saturday. And so I wanted to buy for somebody or a few people actually. And I thought, I don't want to stand in front of
I mean, I guess he used the word Hispanics, but he's just assuming that everybody else is going to a job. Not that they're, going to see a family member. No, just Tim. Tim is the only person in the world not in a prison job in Florida. And he even kind of talks down about the folk who work at Wawa. This lazy, good for nothing. He's never worked truly a hard day in his life. I'm sorry. Standing outside trying to sell cars. Yes. Boring, but hard? Probably not. Probably not hard. Boring, yes. Just tedious and frustrating and hard to get a sale. Yes. But physically, mentally hard work, I don't think to the same level as some other folks' jobs can be, in my opinion.
line, like, keep coming, keep coming. So the guy in front of me, I don't know what he got, but he had a few things, and he got ready to pay, and the two guys in front of him used cash, but this guy, he was going to whip out his credit card. And I reached over my phone with the...
He doesn't, but Tim's a racist. That's why.
Selfie stick extension here and tapped it, and he really, really appreciated it. And then the nice lady that works in there said, "Hey, how's it going, Sarasota Tim?" She's these people that work at Wawa, they stay here. They pay them pretty good, for what kind of a job it is. And she recognized because we got a mutual friend from Michigan, a fellow Michiganite or whatever you call them. Forgot how she said it, but anyway, it was great to pay for somebody. It was great to see her again, and to know that I also have another subscriber that watched.
If it's a degrading term to describe somebody's nationality or ethnicity, Tim's going to say it. He's just that dude. I don't try to be friends with people like this.
Watches me, and
I can't say I know people.
Kind of what started it is I always do like to pay it forward if I can sometimes, and when I went in today.
No, you don't, because you never seem to tip the actual service workers who help you at all, Tim. And guess what? Wawa has very strict policies, Tim. It says Wawa locations are private property, and as such, they are generally prohibited unauthorized commercial filming, photography, or live streaming inside their stores without prior permission or corporate or store management. You're basically kind of streaming live video, and then you record it and then you upload it. But you're making commercial filming, Tim, because it's on your YouTube channel, which is monetized. So you might not think that, but you are, and you stick stickers on your car saying Sarasota Tim. Why? Permission required for anything beyond casual quick snapshots. And that wasn't a casual quick snapshot, Tim. You were filming the whole entire coffee bowl. It is necessary to ask permission from the general manager or corporate. So did you do that? Probably not. Customer privacy. You do not film or photograph other customers. And you have shown so many people in your time, Tim, it's wild. Employee privacy. Avoid filming employees without their direct consent. Tim, when you've gone inside a Buc-ee's, you've just panned the whole place. I mean, everybody is open season at Buc-ee's for you. Disruptions. Do not block aisles, interfere with customers, or interrupt employees who are working. Safety, illegal recording. Recording in or attempting to record in restrooms is strictly prohibited illegal. Thank you, Jesus, for that. Discretion. The managers have the discretion to stop any filming they deem inappropriate or disruption. Best practices. If you are taking photos for social media, e.g. a Wawa run photo, focus on products or your own food. Keep it brief and be prepared to stop immediately if asked by staff. So they don't really like it at Wawa, Tim. All right. Back over. And we know they don't like your dumping.
Someone started out their day the same way. I wasn't even close to the door, and this lady held the door for me. And she made it a point to wish me a very nice day, and I hope I have a great day, and all of that kind of thing, more than just opening.
Great. It's always how women are serving Tim. Sorry, son of a B.O. Because Tim couldn't think to hold the door open for her. Tim, with his one cup of coffee and this camera in the hand, she felt the need to help his ass.
The door for me. And I thought, hey, we got to definitely pay it forward here. She was being nice. Let's spread the nice around. So the gentleman that I paid when I came out, I actually noticed that he got into a brand new Chevy HD. So he's probably the jefe, the boss of the crew. And I see him going out the driveway over there. But he was most appreciative. And I like doing things for people that I know are good people. They work hard. The guy's going out on Saturday to his prison job. Yeah, I know he's going to work because all of them in there look like they're going to work.
How do you know, Tim? You don't even know what work looks like. He thought this was work, sticking this stuff on the side of his truck. Tax write-off. That's what Tim thinks. That's my tax write-off right there. Stuck Sarasota Tim on the side of my truck. Now you're filming somebody, Tim, in a Wawa property without their consented permission. Police.
On Saturday to make ends meet. And that's what I'm going to be talking about today when I get over to the beach with this coffee here.
Taking ends meet. How do you make ends meet, Tim? Oh, let's think. You get products for review, and then you sell them on Facebook. We think the e-scooter might have already been sold. He's had to price drop some of his other items recently. So his prices are starting to come down. Jefe. Jefe is the word in Spanish for boss. It's like a slang for boss. So if you ever say, here's somebody talking about the jefe, that's like the boss or the chief. This is kind of a slang, though. I know he is. He's really bad. Yeah. And he's just making like assumptions about all sorts of stuff. And just assumptions that he speaks Spanish and all sorts of things. And he's not... He slips up today because he actually calls it Gulf of Mexico. So he can't even remember his racism very well. He's just terrible.
I can get there before it gets cold on me.
About
the future. I've got my crystal ball out today. So I'm going to go over it with you.
Don't worry. If anybody watched the news recently, there was a process server who just recently served Mark Zuckerberg. I'll try to see if I can find the clip. Classic. I think Tim might be feeling something like that soon. And for our friends who are abroad, not that I have many, I have a couple of Canadians and obviously Catherine from New Zealand. But apart from that, nobody across the globe is interested in the antics of this old hateful bigot here in the United States. He was out here ripping off the American taxpayer at any given chance. Because when he's selling these items that he reviews on YouTube, and he doesn't want to put includes paid promotion, because then he has to declare the amount of the object of the item that he's received, and then that is going to have to be declared on his taxes. And I think Tim has, for the best part of his life, has tried to pay the least amount of tax humanly possible in the United States. I mean, he did not want to even pay for anything for his children. Unless it's just Tim, like, having a good-ass time. Pardon my French. Tim doesn't want to pay for it. If it's his health care, he wants the American people to pay for it. If it's, and his subscribers to send him the money for his copays. That's my opinion. I'm sticking with it. All right, keep going, Tim.
Yep. All right, I got my key. Let's get in there and we'll go to the beach and crush it.
Yeah, you're not. Okay. All right, let's get over to Tim over at the beach. And he talks about nothing. What's Tim talking about over here? Let's just go. Let's just sit with the axe down. I'm going to find this thing with Mark Zuckerberg because it was hilarious.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Sarasota Tim. I know I'm going to hear about it from some people. I absolutely just drove out of there today and forgot my mic again. I need to keep it in the truck. So being on the beach, we have airflow. Now look, I'm trying to give you the sun, but it's right behind the bridge. It's above the tree line, but it's, I got to move around so I can show it to you. Oh, there it is. Ooh.
Yes.
But it's going to be going out of sight in a minute.
He should put includes paid promotion, and then when he does his taxes, yes, he should include these items as income because they are income. They're items he's receiving for free. He's, unless he can figure out with his tax account how he gets gifted all this stuff, But you're supposed to put includes paid promotion, and you are to put obviously that in your taxes. Tim then turns around and sells these items, so he's going to get cash for all of it. And I don't know if he declares those sales, you know, those like garage sale, Facebook stuff. I don't know if anybody, you know, and these were things, sometimes they were purchase items, other items, they were things that he was given to review, and the exchange on that from the company is you get the item for free. And a lot of times these items can have a significant amount of value. Think about a $1,500 battery that you just make a 20-minute video about. That's a pretty good, you know, return on your time if you're getting that nice of a product. And then Tim will monetize that video to get money from whatever views he gets. And then he will then turn around and try to sell that item on Facebook and then recoup, you know, also get extra the cash for it. So, I mean, he definitely needs to be declaring on his taxes, because that is just him literally making money. But he sees it as a way for him to skirt around probably having to pay on it, because that's the way Tim would like to operate. But he's too transparent, and we can all watch him
as it rises over the bridge, but we'll get it. So let's just get down here to the water and walk and talk. This is where I was kicking it yesterday in my chair, like right around here. And then these people came and just sat right down next to me. I've been noticing that every time I go to the beach. I used to go to Lido. Let's say this person right here, this sign is somebody. They'll literally do this. They'll sit right here. What is that? Is that a camera? What is that?
Isn't that wind?
Oh no, somebody just look at that. Somebody stuck a little shell in there. We'll leave it. So they're
So for the last
fishing.
couple of days, Tim's been putting out this type of level quality video of the wind in the background. Luckily, this one's short.
I'll get up here real close to the water. This water is very deep. I mean, a foot off. You're not allowed to go in. You have to go over to the beach side. There. Look at that sun. So a lot of people are.
I actually was carrying my microphone and my camera and my stand and everything when I was running around on Thursday, and I just didn't film because I had so much going on. Check the members only, you'll find out what I was up to. Gotta sell the memberships, man.
We're walking, and we're gonna do the same thing. We're just gonna walk around
people
along the water here. See if I can get you at a good angle on me.
I know. I know. It's not lost.
Oh, look at this. Pretty nice little shell right there, huh? Just sitting there. You don't have to keep this one, I think. It's big enough to keep. I see people picking up like really small ones. Man, that's pretty nice. See that? Got a little sand in there. I need to wash it out. Put it in my pocket. See, over here in the sun, it's going to be nice. You're definitely going to see it come over the drawbridge there. Get down to the water.
This is Tim's latest thing, is he's going to get up early in the morning and he is going to start doing some inspirational videos of him and the sound of wind to inspire us all to get healthy like Sarasota Tim. And I kind of feeling like I'm getting an RFK Kid Rock vibe from Tim and their recent Twitter video. I'm surprised Tim's not out shirtless and drinking a glass of milk.
Water. There it is. I think it's a nice find, man. You walk right up on it. I know if people were out collecting shells, they would definitely pick that one up. But look, you can see the tide is low, so they're being exposed. Oh, I see a couple maybe over there. Let me go over and see. Here's one right here, but it's kind of broken. You may turn the camera around for just a minute. All right. What are these over here? What is this I'm looking at? Trash, or is it a shell? What is this? Oh, it's flowers. It's a flower. All right, let me. I'm doing this for a few of you out there that have commented how much you really like water, Florida scene, and beach. These people over here, I got that same buggy. They got their chairs. They were watching. If I took my walk, they were watching the sunrise. It comes up right there. Let me grab a picture of that. Nice. Yeah, you step off into there and you're deep pretty quick. I might stay shallow a little bit around through here, but if you come in back this way, I mean, just a foot or two off, you're in pretty deep water. Hey, look at me. I'm collecting today. Oh boy. Well, I'm definitely I should have me a bag, man. Look at the condition of that one. That was nice. Oops. I don't want to break it. That's a good find. See, this one's got a chip on it. I don't even want it. I'm too particular now. Look at these. They're all exposed.
This is what we got. Tim being a teenager. I know. I know. We're gonna have to try to get Tim over to the Department of Health and Human Services now for a job, because he's about the same quality in the knowledge about health as seems the head of the department. And Kid Rock, that stuff is so embarrassing. Just embarrassing. I mean, Kid Rock had like noodle arms and a fat stomach. The man doesn't look like he exercises. He looks like fat skinny. It's not healthy. And the other guy looks like he's roided up. This is following after he talked about snorting Coca-Cola off a toilet seat. What the Jesus is going on?
For collection. Man, I need a bag. Yeah, just keep my eye open. Here's one. Look at this. Is it in good shape? It is. It's another pristine one. Look at this. I don't know. Oh, that one's got a little chip on too. All right, so they can't be. Look at all these shells, huh? I'm like an old person now.
I'm like an old person now, says Tim. No, Tim, that's like a child. Mind you, it is fun getting shells. I'm not gonna lie. There was one time after a really big storm here, I went to North Carolina to the Outer Banks, and there were lots of really pretty shells that came up to the beach, and as well as sea glass. And I found this McCormick's. I still have it on my shelf. McCormick's spice bottle that was glass. And it's like an old, like McCormick's from like the 1930s or something, but obviously had ended up in the sea. So part of it has turned into sea glass, but perfectly still intact. So I kind of found like an item like that, you know. You won't find shells in Virginia Beach, I'll tell you that much. I know Florida does have lots of shells, and there are laws about shelling in Florida. So let's just take a look at this tab real fast. Coming from Fox 13, actually. Shelling in Florida. Here's what to know before picking up a seashell. And this is actually from Bradenton, Florida. The Bay Area boasts some of the most beautiful beaches in Florida that are lined with tens of thousands of shells. But before you take one home, here we go, Tim, again, there are a few things to keep in mind so you don't receive a fine. I promise you, every day that Tim just pops himself out here, you beachcomb all the time in the Outer Banks. Yeah, I know. It is fun. It is fun. It's not worth it, Virginia Beach. They dredge the beach here and stuff. You don't want to do that. So, according to Florida Fish and Wildlife Commission, beachgoers are allowed to collect seashells for recreation, but they must take into consideration whether the seashell contains a living organism, the type of organism it contains, and where it is being harvested. Look at that. That's insane. If that's really from Florida. So that's a stock footage. Seashells with live organisms cannot be sold unless the seller has a valid commercial license. So any live oysters and live hard clams can only be harvested when in compliance with the FWC rules. All species of clam, oyster, and mussel can only be taken from designated approved areas. Okay. In Manatee County, and that's the county that Tim is in, I learned that one recently, people may not harvest or have more than 2 shells, including echinoderms such as sand dollars and starfish, containing live organisms of any single species except for oysters, hard clams, sunray, Venus clams, and coquinas per day. And so Tim's going to talk about sand dollars in a minute. So this is interesting. A little further south in Lee County, shells that contain a live organism, except for oysters, hog clams, quahogs, sunray Venus clams, and coquinas, may not be harvested. Harvesting certain species may be limited and prohibited. Okay, so this Bahama starfish, all harvest is banned. Live queen conch, possession is banned. As long as it does not contain a living king conch at the time of the collection, and so long as the living queen conch is not killed, mutilated, or removed from its shell prior to collection. Possession of conch meat or a queen conch shell having an off-center hole larger than a 16th of an inch in diameter through its sphere is prohibited. And there's also sorts of bag limits and so forth. So yeah, interesting. I decided to find some interesting stuff about Florida seashells.
Get a bag. Look, I'm just gonna keep finding them. That was in really good shape.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. All right.
Yeah.
There must be something in my truck
I agree.
I can get. I'm gonna go and come back. So the wind's picking up a little bit. Let's do this again. I got a bag I found in my truck. There was a guy. He was before I even opened my door. I said, "Hey, you don't have a Walmart bag or anything in your car there?" Let me look. Actually, his sister loaned him the car, so he said, "No, it doesn't appear to be." And I had one in my truck. Had a couple things in it. I just took it out. And so we will begin again and scour and grab these big shells, and I'll put them in the camper. Short story. Oh gosh, I can't believe how much time flies. Back in 20.
Yeah, Tim is not concerned about getting out to back to this trailer, getting his trash taken care of. He's got to get this beach content made early because he's got stuff to do in the day.
16 maybe.
He's got to sell that stuff.
I used to go snorkeling all the time at Lido.
Saturday, a busy day.
I would get sand dollars. I love sand dollars. And I was snorkeling. And this was before a couple of storms and hurricanes came. And I was able to collect so many sand dollars. You wouldn't even believe it. Look. Right away. I got to put something in the bag and wait.
And Tim is the reason that we need to have regulation and laws because Tim doesn't care that these could be living organisms. Screw that. Tim's just going to grab a bunch of sand dollars for whatever reason. Just a menace to the planet. Everything this guy does is a menace. He's just like, to me, a menace to everything.
Down, just flipping around the wind. Oh, man, I'm just finding them left and right.
Probably let the bag
I'm never going to be able
out
to
and wouldn't even
very many
bother.
feet before. Look at the size.
Tim is the type that the plastic bag would fly out of his hand. He just let that go because his slow butt wouldn't be able to catch it.
Size of this one. I can't stand this bag. Look at this one. Look at the size of that. Stupid wind. Stupid me for not bringing my microphone. Look at this. Pristine. I'll never pick up another one that's got a chip in it. Look at that. That one's absolutely a 10. They're everywhere. Well, I don't see any now. Here's a little one that's pristine. Look at this little one. It's not tiny, so I'll pick it up. I'll add that one to the bunch. This bag's getting heavy already. Yeah, since it's low tide, you wouldn't see these if the water was up here. Well, you can see where the water line is. And it just brings new ones in with the tide change. This is awesome. I mean, these few I got here and the ones I got already put in my truck. I probably shouldn't get too many more or I won't have anywhere to put them. I can give them away. But they're in excellent condition. That one right there is big, but it had some chips on it. And 2 or 3 of the ones I know I already have, I'm going to.
I thought they would retail for 30-some thousand, that Tim would lose a penny on it.
Get rid of those because they have a couple little small chips. I only want perfect ones. Here's one. That's the one I looked at earlier. It's not perfect. I'm going to leave it in the water. See? It's a nice looking shell, but half of it's chipped off. So in the water you go. Let me see. Yeah, a lot of them are broken, I can see. Wonder how they get broken.
Oh my God.
They're really broken. Some of them are like in half.
Tim wonders how they get broken. Tim, that shell could be hundreds of years old. You don't know. It could have been battered around the ocean floor for some time. Maybe it was bit by another creature. damage from a storm. Boat.
Collecting seashells. See, a lot of people, they collect these. They've been down. They get these little tiny ones. Who's got time for that? This one's probably broken.
He's crushing it.
Right on the edge there. I don't want that. All right, here's the point where I quit. And I'm looking for new ones. Let's see if we can find one. Lots of them right here. Look at this one right here. Just sitting there screaming, here I am, here I am. Look at this pristine shell. Look at that. Huh? It's got a hole in it.
Uh-oh.
Not pristine. We're going to purge him. He goes in the basket. See if we can find some more. Scouring around with my eye.
Maybe he's getting some pretty shells for Tammy's new condo, so she can do a little shell basket.
Notice I used that singularly. I only got one good one.
Yeah.
But what can we talk about? We're going to get up here. I'm going to walk the beach today instead of the path up to the restaurant there. They're having a huge market. Wow, I must have really got all the good ones because now they're becoming rare. I don't see them.
Yeah,
well, that was big. It's the biggest one I found today. Oh my gosh, it's a gold mine. Look at that thing. Here, with the sun on it. Look at the size of that pristine.
Yeah, Tim is the perfectionist, except when it came to his teeth.
Shell. I think they sell these kinds of things. Man, put that one in there gently so it doesn't break. That was incredible. That was the nicest one and the biggest one. I don't see any more. I'm gonna.
Yeah, this is
hang
cool.
up my spurs. I think I'm all done with doing this.
Aren't you just?
Unless another one jumps out at me.
We're all jealous because Tim's living his best life ever. I mean, if I want, I could go get some sandy shoes too at the moment and go down to the beach. I don't live far from a beach. I have to admit, it's work to get to the beach. And I've got dogs that constantly need to be bathed. Like, I had to bathe Junebug, and Roscoe's going to need a bath today. And it's constant. I got to do my second shift work, as I call it.
There's one right here, folks. Absolutely pristine. Not as big as that last one, but not small. Oh, here's one more. Before the look.
Tim had no content when he started walking on this beach, and he didn't know what to talk about other than his usual ramblings about Social Security and how he's crushing it at 67 and, with a side hustle and a Social Security check. And he suddenly saw seashells. He's like, oh, look at this. I got some content. Because it's not playing because he had to return to the truck to get a plastic bag. Who knows what happened? These seashells will probably end up like anything of Tim's in the trash. He'll probably, once he gets back to the dump, he's probably going to dump all these seashells in there too. Because that's just the type of person. I wouldn't put it past him. Instead of like offering it to a child or maybe somebody who's visiting from out of town. No, Tim be like, no, I don't want this now. Trash can. He's just wild. I just cannot with this guy.
The tide's coming in, and I found it right here. Look at this.
You need to look at the mirrors.
We're doing good. Morning.
I visited during that time in the 1992 period from university, Z-Call. Were you down at the block at all, drinking at any of the bars down on Atlantic Avenue? Because maybe I ran into you in the summer of 91. Actually, what year was I? 90. I think it was 91. Yeah, I was I was out of college then in 91. No, 91? Yes, 91. I had graduated. No, I graduated college in 92. Gosh, I'm so confused. But I was there at that time. Maybe it was 1990, 91, one of those years. I think it was 91. No, maybe it was 90. I just remember being there visiting my grandma. I was down here at the block. I was working. You were lots of bars. Did you ever go over to there was Chicho's, and then there was the Edge, and what was the other one? I know there was Chicho's and the Edge were next door to each other. Those were the two that were like the two big ones. There was another one next to that, but the two that I kind of bopped in between, there were some of the bars that used to go to Peabody's. You know what? They still have Peabody punk shows. You know what? My neighbor actually works at Peabody's as like does the lighting for all the works there at night, does something there at night. He always tells me about like all the stuff that's going down at the Peabody's Club. And then his roommate who owns the condo actually is a tour manager for a bunch of punk bands. So I know I know quite a few people in the punk scene. Yeah, Peabody's back in the day. And there was, oh gosh, another place was called the Abyss as well. Used to go up on like 19th Street. I think it was the Abyss was the bar. And then there was another one called, oh gosh. Oh, it will come to me. There was one that was like in a shopping center area. It was really famous because my cousin that's where my cousin like met her husband and stuff. Oh, will come to me. It was my favorite for my cousin. It was her favorite bar. And it was like not on the beach though, but it was like an older like crowd, I guess, because it wasn't like under 21s trying to get in. You're going to be in Bradenton? Peabody still exists. Peabody still exists, believe it or not. Still going. That club is still going. They had a big night, I heard recently. They have a lot of electronic dance music now.
Now let's see. Let me show you what we got here. This is where it goes from the inlet. Yeah. You're not allowed to go in the water. Show you the beginning of the beach. And you have this really rough old deal here. It goes all the way back. I mean, look at it. Rough. Look at this.
I've known some Navy SEALs who are up at Little Creek. I have a lot of my girlfriends who are married to SEALs and stuff. If you're in Virginia Beach, you're a halfway decent looking girl, you're going to be hanging out with Navy SEALs. I've actually been to a SEAL party. I think it was on Little Creek at the base there. They had some SEAL party. I've been to those parties on the base with the SEALs because my friend, like I said, was married to a SEAL, was dating SEALs.
Size of these old bolts.
It's how it goes in the beach, man.
Look at these nails from the day.
It is awesome.
It's concrete pilings they put in. Look at this nail. Look at that thing. So it's all tore apart right up here. Oh, look, someone's got some pasta they left out here. Seagulls or something.
The content. Somebody's old leftover food. Please, I need more of this. Tim, we're having a conversation about Peabody's over here.
This guy right here. He's eyeballing everything. And they just kind of end.
That was a pier that came down. That pier must have gone very hit. That must have been a pier hitting a hurricane at some point, or a boat ramp. That's old.
So I don't see like shells just laying here. We'll walk this beach and see. It's really nice this morning that, see all the beach you have? Look at it, like
Tim, you had it, just was totally unplanned. You were probably planning to talk about health equals wealth and how many steps you can take. If you're a member of the Good Life community, pop in some little walking shoes. There's some little running shoes emojis. Pop those in the chat to show that Tim's out getting his steps today. I know the content is riveting. Yeah, there's several teams. Yeah. There are. You're always going to end up partying with the SEALs. And it's always, if they're not telling you that, like they're telling you they work in construction and stuff, that's probably the SEAL. If a guy's like, I'm a Navy SEAL, that's not a Navy SEAL. We always know who the real SEALs are.
Close to 100 yards of beach before you get to the water, so it's nice and wide here at Coquina. But it's really nice to be able to walk on this. You can run on this. Here's another shell. It's all broken. You can ride the e-bike on here. You can jog, run.
Tim, you're going to have that e-bike on the market on Facebook, and like, if you haven't already sold it to somebody in your RV park, like the guy who was riding it around, like, hey, I'll sell it to you for $1,500 or whatever its cost was.
Or just walk. It's nice and compact.
Okay, Tim. My goodness. All right. Oh my goodness. Tim not even doing that was an abrupt ending. Yeah, little walking shoes. Thank you, Thomas. Little walking shoes. Lots of CBs. Yeah, Tim gonna get himself absolutely. Hey, Bernie, come on in. You just missed the most thrilling content ever. I did want to share this content. This is on YouTube. Share this tab instead. This was from February the 18th. I just like the way the process server did its job here. Let's watch a process server in action real quick.
Thank you.
It's a palate cleanser to Tim.
Sorry.
And I'll make sure to link the USA Today below and make sure this is, fair use, USA Today. This is for education, commentary purposes. We're going to watch somebody get Mark Zuckerberg because they're showing that Instagram has been specifically targeting children under the age of 13. And there are millions of children, and they get these children hooked on Instagram, and they have algorithms. And Mark Zuckerberg doesn't care about kids' health mentally or anything else. He cares about his money, his bag. But obviously, there are other people that think that the terms of service that he puts in place, that the children are not obviously capable of reading those terms of service when they lie about their age. And so these companies need to have some accountability. That's what this trial's about. But it's the process server we're watching for a minute.
Did that have purposely designed the platform to harm
Yes.
Got some stairs coming upstairs.
Excuse me, we got
And it's a nice, lead into, we're going to watch another Tim react to the fact that Tim loves to list things on Facebook. And here we've got the king of Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg.
Thank you. Excuse me, we've got to walk. Excuse me, we've got to walk. Excuse me. Excuse me.
Move out of the way. Keep clear. Keep clear.
All right, it's coming, guys. Keep watching because this is a process server who knows how to do their job. It's awesome. Keep watching. I promise you.
Mark Zuckerberg, you've been served with a summons and complaint. Mark Zuckerberg, you've been served. You've been served.
And that's how you serve papers. That's a process server that is doing their job, man. Can you imagine how difficult it is to get Mark Zuckerberg in public in order to serve him? That process server was on their game and worth every penny. And I love the fact that they actually say, I'm going to have to go back because I think somebody else might be having something similar to this soon. So let's watch this. This is somebody who knows how to do their job. This is somebody who definitely deserves to get Employee of the Week.
You've been served.
Let's get back. You've been served. Oh, we gotta love American justice systems. Here we go. Oh no, I gotta go back to it. Sorry. We need to highlight the person who really knows how to do their job. All right, sorry. Last time.
You've been served. You've been served.
Oh, he dropped the papers, so the police officer is going to pick him up. But now the process server has a chance to show that Mark Zuckerberg was being served, didn't pick up the papers. Now the police officer can go take those papers to Mark Zuckerberg. He just got served. That's okay. They've got the film now of Mark refusing to take his papers being served. So that doesn't show well. Somebody was in our thing saying about that, but the process server came out and served them. Basically, you can block peeps in real life. Yes. Oh my goodness. So that they filmed this and stuff. So that process server came out, served him, and the police officer came and picked up those papers and probably dropped them right in front of Zuckerberg. So it's up to him not to read his papers, but it's going to get him in more trouble. Because I just thought that was awesome. Because I think somebody else might be experiencing something similar coming soon. All right, let's get back to Tim. Oh, because I want to be on the. Unfortunately, I don't think I can be on the fly on the wall for that one, but that was just some fun stuff to watch. Okay, last react, guys. All right, we've got. I thought we were just gonna hit one that was just gonna be terrible. That almost made me want to cry and scream. Almost, I can't do the board one, but we can do this. This is the last one. We're going to make sure we're at 1.5 for Tim on this. Yes. Tim is reflecting on 5 years of Social Security. And we've got a lot of lies, as always.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Sarasota Tim.
Don't even know what to say.
Welcome to a beautiful place here in Bradenton, Florida, called Bradenton Beach. And it is sunrise, and it is a cool morning. I won't say chilly. As you can see, this person just has a little coat on, no long pants. The beach is empty right now, plenty of parking available because it is currently 7:25. And today I'd like to talk to you guys about living your life and living it on Social Security. And that beautiful sunrise. So before we get into it, let's take us a little walk over here somewhere where we can be around the water and have a nice little optics for you and get into it. All right, let's go. So here we are on the beautiful beach in Bradenton, Florida, crushing it this morning, along with all the other folks that are out here this morning, crushing it, jogging, walking, enjoying life. And what is life? Life is to live, not to endure. And for most of our lives, after we get educated and marry, raise kids, buy a house, get ourselves a job, try to create some savings and accumulate some assets.
Oh, for goodness sake, Tim, you didn't accumulate any savings or assets. You were flat broke with debt when the panini came in 2020. And you were 60 years old and still 2 years away from Social Security with nothing in place for any type of retirement. So this is why he's so wild out here. So just to answer your question, Catherine, about what happens if you don't pick up those papers. And and you have to think this was a valid service and it's all on camera. If you refuse to accept legal papers, the process server may leave them nearby, which, Zuckerberg just refused to take them. The process server said, you got served with all those cameras there, and just dropped them because he didn't take them. And the service is still considered valid, allowing the case to proceed. Ignoring service typically leads to a default judgment. So Zuckerberg could by default lose. He's got a lot of money, so he's going to lawyer himself up. But the court could rule against him without your input. So just ignoring it does not get you out of the problem. If you are told you are being served and that process server, you refuse to take them and they leave them like on your doorstep or right in front of you, that is still a valid process serving. So obviously, valid service. If you refuse to take papers, a process service can leave them in your presence, e.g. on the ground or with another adult at your home or work, which is often considered proper service. Then you could have a default judgment. The court may allow the plaintiff to serve you through alternative methods, such as mailing your last known address, posting in a newspaper, or serving another household member. Legal consequences. Intentionally avoiding service can result in additional legal fees and in some cases, contempt of court charges. Bench warrant. If it was a criminal summons, this is probably a civil matter. Failing to appear in court after avoiding service, may lead to warrant for your arrest. So it's generally advised to accept the papers and contact an attorney rather than avoiding the process server. So not a smart move by Mr. Zuckerberg, especially getting caught on camera like that.
And we work really hard. We stay at one job forever. We get multiple jobs.
We
work for ourselves. We start a business. Whatever it is, you finally get to a point in your life where you start thinking about retirement and about really enjoying freedom. And when do you do that? So there's an offer that we get.
His EID. So he was living in the Manor Loop apartments at Lakewood Ranch, which is in the same community as Fred and Raffaella. I think Fred and Raffaella may potentially be the owners of that apartment or that condo and rent it. And that's how Tim and Tammy got to know Fred and Raffaella, was, I believe, through renting that Manor Loop apartment. And they were living there up until July of 2021. And Tim received his EIDL in June, filed for it. And then I guess he received those monies at that point. At that time, I do believe his YouTube had not quite taken off, because that wasn't until 2023. So he used those monies to pay off his personal debt, get the little, like, whatever, that little camper thing he was living on initially on Teddy and Jolene's property. And somehow he and Tammy, for whatever reason, split, and he ended up over there. That's what I could tell.
After we work for somebody, or even ourselves, because we have to pay self-employment tax, which is your Social Security, you're entitled to a free check. I use sayings in my videos that are just jokes.
So there was a couple of years between the YouTube windfall and the PPP. So the PPP probably came in around, he was taking that in the 2020 period. And he was not having any other, and unemployment. So he took the PPP and unemployment, which were not to be both taken. He then was not old enough to get his Social Security, probably running out of unemployment by June of 21, probably running out of PPP monies. And so he went ahead and did an EIDL for an amount he never would have been eligible for as a sole proprietor, single entity, one person, belly to belly, door to door sales business. For the amount he took out, he would have been a much larger entity, which he was not. He never should have had any more than $10,000 at the max, $1,200 maybe. So he was not eligible for anywhere near those monies. He did not save a penny. He very clearly spoke about the fact that he was in debt and not prepared. And that's why he felt that he was owed and deserving of those monies during the pandemic, was because he felt, it came and he lost everything. And this was not a man who had anything planned. So anything happening wrong, it's everybody else's fault but Tim's. And then, he ended up about 2023 is when the summer of 2023 is when his YouTube video went off. And that's when he had been able to, do certain things in order to create this appearance of having a camper and all this stuff. But that was all coming through his having done his EIDLs. So he did some real just interesting things.
So don't take them serious. But a free check is obviously your check, money that you paid in your taxes to receive a Social Security check. If you're turning 62 in 2026, or you've been 62 for a while, and you're not getting your Social Security
that's right, Lazy Rod.
I want to give you some encouragement as to why you should. And I'm going to give you some it's a no-brainer. It really is. So what happens is when you get to be my age or younger, I'm 67, and you start contemplating it, and you bring up the topic of Social Security, you get all kinds of people's opinion about how you can live on it, how you get less if you take it early, how you can get more if you wait till later in life, how you can even get more if you wait real late in life, and different things. How much your wife can get, how much your husband can get, your spouse, I should just say, and that kind of thing.
Yeah, I don't think Tim is really, because if he does go under Tammy's roof, he is under, Tammy's kind of rules to the home in some ways. and filming is not going to happen. And so she doesn't want that. She's not going to let her house turn into a film studio. I don't think she wants the Tim and Tammy show anymore ever since all the facts about Tammy came out. I don't think she wants people discussing her any further. And I don't blame her, but she'll still be discussed because she was there when he applied for that EIDL loan. They were living together. So she probably was aware that he was applying for it. I'd like to know if she was or wasn't aware. How was she not aware? She probably was the one who helped him with the paperwork because Tim's not very good on the computer. His daughter's probably having to post his Facebook stuff for him. I'm just teasing. I don't know. He said he's had to have some help with some paperwork. He's just it's all and he wants to get that easy YouTube money. Between the buy me a coffees, and he was getting like over $1,000 a month just in buy me a coffees at a time when his channel was probably making very good money. So, and he still gets all these items to review. So he wasn't even, if you notice, when he was traveling out west and stuff, he wasn't having to do as many reviews of items and do like videos like that and have to worry himself with that stuff, because he was making money and people were just sending him money or sending him gift cards and comping him hotel rooms and all, as we saw, just the wildest stuff was going on. So, Tim was living the best life he's ever lived, and along with, the adulation of being Sarasota Tim, and for somebody as narcissistic, I believe Tim is, he doesn't want to give this up. He has tried to obviously silence his critics like me a lot, so I really do appreciate when you watch and like and comment and subscribe, because YouTube, Tim wants to silence critics, definitely has buried my channel into an algorithm because I've had so many copyright strikes. So they think I'm a bad channel, and not somebody who's just trying to say, hey, when you come on to any type of platform and these people are sitting in their homes and they seem like really nice people and they're talking about their lives, take anything that they're saying, unless they're a professional in the area they're speaking about, with a pinch of salt, because it's just going to be their opinions and their personal experiences. And that's great if it's a friend, but I certainly would not use it as a blueprint for my own personal life.
Let me just tell you, first and foremost, let's just get all of the BS out of the way. And that's what it is. The U.S. government has really got everybody believing that you're going to get, they dangle this carrot on the end of the string telling you, hey, don't take it early at 62, because if you do, there's going to be a 30% reduction. And if you wait until your full retirement age at age 67, you can get, And
I don't think Tim wants to be where he's on that low amount of Social Security, because with inflation, his Social Security check, having taken an early retirement because 62, Tim barely worked as it was. Tim stopped working at 60. Let's be honest. It isn't easy to have to just keep putting out YouTube videos and stuff all the time. And I think Tim is going to feel, but he just loves the chance of getting that money again, because he got probably, he talked about getting 6 figures. And so all the time when he's talking about his $108,000 and stuff, that can't be true either, because he made a lot of money one year during YouTube at a time he was not at full Social Security age, which meant he would have had to pay $1 back on every $2 or something. So there was a year when he probably didn't really get a Social Security check. So he's not honest about his numbers. We just know he's just full of it. I'm like, this is the worst video. And I think he thought this one would hit it out the ballpark, because he was the king of Social Security, remember? Now he's 5 years. His thoughts. This video got, let me go back to it, 3,500 views, 235 likes. That is, you have to think that when he did that Social Security video in 2023, The Secret, that's got 3.5 million views. I'm glad that his channel is kind of himself being buried in the algorithm, because he can't figure out what he wants to be. I understand that Probably my best thing is live streaming.
30% more. So let's talk about that. What are those numbers? How much is it? More or less? Well, let's talk about money first before living, okay? And the money angle, let's take me, for example. I collect $1,800 a month, $1,800. And if I were 62 right now and getting $1,800.
I mean, my channel doesn't get, but I do decent, I think, for my live stream on the views comparatively for a live stream channel. So like I said, I know that at a time, I've had times where I haven't been out streaming all the time and and YouTube likes you to be consistent. So they will hit you for that. And then obviously, like I said, my multiple copyright strikes do not help either. Tim has really targeted my channel to bury me. So that's why I'm always so grateful that you guys still continue to watch Tim's saga with me because, and like I said, I've seen some other interesting characters that I would like to start trying to live stream. And if people come by and watch, that's great. And if not, just to do something different from Sarasota Tim. I'll do this one about the grifting courses for retired people at some point on TikTok. That stuff's wild.
$100. If I were to wait 5 more years, I could get $2,571. So as you can see, it's a no-brainer, right? It's like, hey, that's a lot more money. Wait, don't take your money now. But what you don't realize is if I wait until I'm 67 to get that difference, that 30% more.
I promise you, the spouse that people think that was the last spouse, she did not have the types of jobs for Tim to get any type of Social Security. Tim wasn't married to women that were executives of companies, making two 6-figure salaries or anything. No. So I think the idea that one of Tim's spouses had the ability to be anything of that nature is not true. Tim also said that he liked them working. So no, that's just Tim's spouses were not power career women.
I would lose $108,000 that I can spend and collect now and put gas in my vehicle, ride my motorcycle, live a free life, and enjoy my freedom and get out of my...
We don't believe him. Nobody... I know we don't believe him. I think the only person that believes it is Tim, because I don't think we believe it, because Tim said he paid the minimum amount of taxes his whole entire working life. And everyone knows it's your best 35 years. And one of Tim's best years, actually, if he had not been so keen to get Social Security early, would have probably been his YouTube income. So if he'd waited to 67, he might have actually had a good Social Security. But Tim had to get that, I don't think it's 1,800. I think Tim is, as always, a BSer. I think it's significantly lower, and I think that's going to be hard on him in the future because you can't do anything with less than $2,000 in this country. That's barely going to cover your rent. How do you do anything else? What it used to be, you could have $1,800 and it would pay for rent and a bunch of other stuff. That hasn't been the case in 30 or 40 years.
Prison job, another one of my sayings. If you have a job and you work for somebody, even yourself to a degree, and you're putting in 40 or 50 hours a week, you're giving the best days, the best weeks, the best months and years of your life to someone. You're like, well, I got to work, I got to make money. Well,
Darling did a video calculating the potential of Tim's ex-spouses being the source of his Social Security. And we've kind of looked at it, and we do not believe the spouses had the ability to, he wasn't married long enough to them. And their incomes, I don't think have been that amount. Not from what I could see from their work histories.
Those are very stressful things to incorporate in your life when you get older that you really don't need. And you say, well, I can't live on $1,800 a month. Yes, you can. Because, if you plan your life right and you're not, if you're in your 40s right now and you're thinking, I couldn't live on that, you're thinking about what it's costing you to live now in your 40s and 50s.
This is the one that plan your life right. This guy is trying to stand in front of a nice beach. He actually remembered his microphone with his fake watch or whatever, trying to give the impression that he is something he's not. And this is just what kills me about people on social media. It's just, can we stop? Oh my gosh. Let's stop rewarding these people. You know, even with views, if you don't like him, he shouldn't have even had 3,500 views on this, to be honest. In my opinion, it's because he's a con artist. You're going to get served.
Maybe you've got a lot of debt, a lot of credit cards, car payments, mortgage payments, and things like that. But when you get to be 60 years old and you're going to be 62, you need to have your life set up to where you don't have that anymore. You start planning to check out of the prison job and start living your life. I'm going to tell you something in a minute. It's going to really make you think about it. It's a real head scratcher because I've got a couple of sayings. I've got the go-go years and the go-slow years. You know, with $1,800 a month coming in and working instead of 40 or 50 hours a week, working 10 to 25 hours a week, doing something that you choose as low stress and the time of day that you're not missing the best daylight hours or the best weather days. You know, you just find something as a side hustle. People say, well, I don't want to work when I get my Social Security or retire. That's not retirement. Well, it's not very good to sit around and do nothing either and not have something to do. So it's kind of healthy, especially if you're doing something that you want to do. But think about this for a second.
So Tim wants individuals to potentially, who we are now technically living longer. Our jobs have not been, at least Tim, why were you retiring early? You had no physical job whatsoever. You weren't out pulling 500-pound patients up in a bed. I know that much. I probably had more physical work than you, Tim, working as an RN. And the amount of, you know, moving bodies and people and so forth. And just long ass shifts. And this guy wants to be like acting out like after he took a sum of money from the US taxpayers that he was not eligible during a pandemic. And Tim Dinger pointed out, thankfully, that the statute of limitations has been increased for the amount of time that they can start to continue to prosecute people. So they were going to stop prosecuting people in 2025, like 5 years to find people who had misdeeds during that time is not enough time. So we have till 2030 now. So they still could ask for restitution, Tim, on your EIDL. So that's not come to an end. And as other people might not think they don't send these people to prison. They give them like a slap on the wrist and tell them they have to pay restitution. Like, you don't get to get 30 years. You need to pay it off. And Tim did, you know, he's just such a con artist because we know he had nothing. He talked about the fact that he had just debt. When everything happened in 2020, he was flat broke and had leveraged credit cards and was leasing a vehicle. He had not a pot to piss in, as we say in England.
I've got $108,000 in my pocket by the time this person over here wants to wait until they're 67. What happened between 60 and 67? This is where you're going to scratch your head and you're not going to believe it. This is where science comes in. Well, first of all, the average age is about 73 years old. And if you're 62, some people argue, well, if you're 62, you got a really good shot at living until 82. Well, let me tell you the science behind their philosophy and quoting that. I've heard that a lot in my previous videos.
Yeah, Tim could have had YouTube as a small amount of money, like most creators do. The thing is, he tasted that huge amount of money, you know, and on that video, there's some creators, they get 1 million views a day. So you can imagine what they bring in. Their audiences are that large and that loyal. And I think Tim has shown himself to use his audience in ways and not educate or not even entertain. You know, it's just, why would you be influenced by this gentleman? His other than influence not to do what he did. And I think people liked him more when he was handing out the sausages at Publix. It seemed much more honest, you know?
That's calculating people that also live to be 100.
He was worried about money
so
then.
No one's promised tomorrow. And that's just
there was a time just before that video hit off that Tim was always talking about cost of living, and his videos were more about concerns around money. And then once he got that big YouTube video, and then people seemingly wanted to, have proximity to Tim and were giving him the world. And like I said, at one point he was getting over $1,000 a month in his buy me a coffee on top of his YouTube earnings. It's just wild sometimes, That's why it's so fascinating. Social media is fascinating.
Average.
But be careful.
Most people, because of the environment and the foods that we eat, the health that people try to maintain, is really a big player in the fact of how much.
This can get, once you get those views, don't get your butt buried in the algorithm. It's, definitely, and he wants to be, I don't blame him. He wants to be part of that, but I guess you find out what your niche is. I realize I wouldn't want to vlog and do this type of content talking about having to really, have to do this type of social media influencing type. I'd much rather do commentary type videos. That's it's more I find interesting. I have found that I've enjoyed live streaming. So I hope we can grow a live stream community. We can talk about just other topics other than just Sarasota Tim that come our way. Just anybody who's trying to scam us. They're everywhere. They're wild. They're all over the place.
Life you're going to live. Now, here it is. Here's the one you're going to like that I found out about. We don't age in a straight line, and I can prove that to you. Kids, when they're born up until a certain age, they kind of progress slowly, right? And then about 12 years old, the next 5 years, they go from being a child of needing complete help with everything. They can't do anything on their own. Maybe go to the bathroom and maybe dress themselves. But you have to feed them, provide for them. They can't drive. They can't marry. They can't do anything. So when they're 17, 5 years later, they're a young adult. They're an adolescent. They're capable of driving, working, graduating school, going into college. They can even marry if they wanted to. They can make decisions. A year later, they can buy, alcohol. They can vote, and
Yeah, but a lot of these decisions are being made before your frontal lobe is fully developed, Tim. And I don't know how many good decisions you were making at that time. I know I wasn't always making good decisions.
A lot changes. So we grow in spurts. We don't just age in a straight line. Well, here's the disappointing news for you is I have to move because I don't know. People see you making a video and they just,
that's definitely one gift I was given in life was just like Tim, chatting.
wanna hang out. Here we go. When you become 60 years old, something happens. Exponential aging happens. This is the go-go years.
Because Tim's looking for the hospice wife at all times. Tim wants that. Oh, that's a great Paul story, Tim. Tim wants somebody who's going to scrub the sink and polish it clean.
From 62 to 67 is your go-go years. From 67 on is your go-slow years. So we're talking about money versus health and living your life. Is it important to you to get another $700?
At least when I was talking about my vitamin D absorption video the other day, that I quoted the physician who was a Stanford-trained hematologist oncologist. And then I had somebody say, oh, I bet that you don't know anything about the vitamin D. I'm like, really? I spoke to a Stanford blood doctor. I guess the word hematology was probably a little advanced for probably whoever dropped that comment. But there's always somebody who wants to say something. And I, always want to express that Tim's going to be out here probably thinking, I think the reason why also we're getting so much of Tim outside on the beach is because of his vitamin D levels. Because Tim is an absolute uneducated individual who does not seemingly understand that the synthesis of vitamin D that is happening through that organ called his skin is not going to happen the same way as we age. Just our bodies are different than when we are young and we are children. So the doses of vitamin D that we require are not going to be able to be got from being outdoors without sunscreen or with sunscreen. It doesn't matter. And so he is still going to need to take a vitamin D supplement in order to get the amount of vitamin D required to have a large enough amounts to be able to actually synthesize that as in our older bodies. That's why as we get older, you can be out there in the sun and still be low on vitamin D. There's because I had this conversation. My hematologist told me it doesn't matter because I said I run outside all the time. You know, I'm a distance runner. I run 12 miles. I'm out in the sun all day. And my doctor's like, I'm outside too. I cycle. I play golf. I still, in my 60s, have low vitamin D because I'm aging. But Tim thinks, I think, because this is a part of the reason why we keep getting him out here in the sun. Because I think he thinks he's not going to have to take that supplement. He could just keep, doing this. It's not the case.
By giving up all of your health, a lot of people at 67, a lot of things start happening to us on our health. And we degrade in our cognitive ways, our physical ways, things just start changing. And mainly is your attitude. Right now, I want to travel, ride my motorcycle. I've got 2 of them. Drive my truck. I've got a camper. I want to pull it. I can rig it. I can set it up. I want to go out and fish and do things like that. And at 67, which is what I am now, for the next 5 years, a lot of things can actually.
Tim now thinks he's a longevity expert and a physician and some type of medical expert. Why do people listen to these people? Why listen to this guy? Why would you listen? But because he lives by a beach in Florida in a trailer? Whatever medical care has he ever given to this person? Yeah, we can all look up something on AI. I just looked up about, papers getting served. I promise you, AI has been very helpful at me navigating the court systems here in the United States recently. But, I think that's one of the reasons why I think I keep seeing Tim on the beach. One, he wants to get his content done and out early. 2, he's, trying to give a certain appearance of affluence and success by standing on this beach, not just being the old con artist who took money from the government.
Really change. Health issues start coming on. I start drawing closer to the window of actually being here on Earth, although I hope to live to be 100. But I got to be realistic. What am I going to be doing from 67 to 77? Or even that next 5 years, 73 years old.
With a GED,
I've already lived from 62 to 67, and it happened like that. But I've also collected 100.
Tim doesn't even have a GED. Tim doesn't. That's why probably Tim couldn't get hired at Aldi. He doesn't have a high school diploma. He doesn't even have a general education diploma. He has nothing. He's a high school dropout. That's it. So he doesn't really understand how to probably critically think and synthesize material. And I'm not trying to say that everybody who has been through higher education is going to be so much smarter. But Tim doesn't even show a great amount of common sense. The only reason why he's got what he has is because of just literally, as Lazy Rider put it, he hit the lottery and he, took money from the government.
Plus $1,000 in my Social Security that I've been able to enjoy. And I have been enjoying, as well as also working 10 to 20 hours a week as a side hustle. I started out doing one thing, and then YouTube took off for me. And now I basically vlog my life and get paid for it. And you can do the same thing. Yeah. If you retire from your career and you've got skill set, you know that if you wanted to retire and live in an RV like me, I could go to places around the country and apply to be a camp host. And that would save me $500 to $1,000, even $1,200 a month, depending on where the RV park is. If it's in a desirable area like South Florida, the Keys, or one of the national parks or something like that, good time of the year.
Now he's going to be a park manager? He's coming up with all sorts of ideas now.
That's basically like giving me free rent. That's like another $800 to $1,000 a month. So there's all kinds of ways that you can totally live, and you can make in 2026 like $26,000, $25,000 thereabouts. I think it's just less. Plus, if you're collecting almost that on Social Security, I mean, that's not chump change, especially if you.
I mean, I joked about my fence recently, but I mean, there are people who literally will say, I need to get X amount of dollars to pay my electric bill and stuff, you know? If people want to give me a super thanks or a super chat because they had fun with us live streaming and you want to, you know, support the channel, have at it. We're never going to say no. I can show you that the toys that I got, I'll bring one. The toys I got, Junebug and Roscoe, 2 toys yesterday. No, on the day, it was Thursday. So I got them new toys on Thursday. Thank you, Carol. And already the stuffing is all over the floor. Both toys have been annihilated. But they really had a good time and they tug and ward and they had a blast. So thank you for that. It's hard to find toys that will last with them. They were leather. I knew they would love them. Now they're snoozing because they just tore everything up on the floor.
You don't have debt. And
don't have
you have
debt.
your health. You have these hours to go out and live your life and do things.
Don't have debt. Okay, Tim. I guess once you sell off everything, are you going to pay off the EIDL and all of the care credit on your care credit card? Because you've got, between those motorbikes and everything, you've got a substantially 50 grand maybe of stuff that you could sell over there. I mean, you do have a lot of stuff and stuff that was sent to you to review and all that stuff you recently bought. It just makes me wonder, like, does Tim get this stuff on credit card? I mean, and now he could sell it off for cash? And then he doesn't have to pay like for a cash withdrawal on a credit card? I mean, I don't know. Tim reminds me of the sort of person he probably used to play the credit card game, like moving one balance to a 0% to the next, you know? He just, because I don't think he could have ever made that much money doing what he did.
So people that are, promoting, and certainly financial advisors, because they want you to keep going with them so they can make money on you. They could care less what happens to you. They only care about the money that you're paying them to get their advice. Let me give you some sound advice.
We have a new
Quit your prison job at 62, collect your Social Security,
Oh,
get some
thank
sort of supplement income
you.
coming in. It's like falling out of bed to make
Oh, the
25.
real Melvis. Thank you for joining the community. And thank you, Sammy, for giving me heads up on that. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining. If you haven't been a member before, but I think you might have had one before, but if not, make sure you go check out the members only from yesterday. Lots to catch up over there. So check it out. And thank you. Thank you. We appreciate it. Love to have new members. Thank you.
Grand a year. There's plenty of things you
Sammy.
can do
Good morning. Hope
that
you're feeling
only require
good.
you to work a third of what you're working now in a high stress situation. You don't have to have professional uniforms, lunches, insurance, gas, all these things that cost you money to go to a job that pays more money. When you can just work 2 days a week, 4 days a week, whatever it is. You can work every day, but a couple of hours. You can pick it out. You can do. I work every day with the YouTube. But folks, at 62 years old, remember, that is a age burst year. Once you hit 60, it's game on. At 67,
that was a really nice gift,
a lot of stuff.
Thank you, Sammy. I'm listening to Tim, and I just saw it's 10 memberships. That is freaking awesome, Real Melvis. That is awesome. Let me get my Nightbot up, and I'm going to make sure I see who was gifted. Thank you for that. Thank you, Sammy. I'm glad Sammy on the ball for me today. Takes a village, guys. That was so generous, Real Melvis. Thank you for that. That was awesome. Wow, that was really good. Let me make sure I can find out who got the gifts here. That was so kind. Let's see who won these. Can I find out who won? That girl, Jocelina, Barking Cats, Mrs. This is some... that girl Dove. There was Xtina, Oxer Trout. Oh, thank you, Real Melvis Smellers. And I am hoping that at some point Irish Eyes and Anne can get one of these memberships. That was so awesome. Thank you. And if you are one of those folks who got those, make sure to drop it in the chat. That was really sweet. Thank you. That was a generous contribution to the community. Let's hope they check out what's going on because we're having some fun over there. Thank you. Tim, this Social Security, I really need to ask my editor to like chop in some just absolute lies that come out of Tim's mouth. I need to talk to my editor about that. There's so many videos. Oh my God.
Those are your go-go years.
Wild.
If you waste those staying in a prison job, waiting to think you're going to be the same at 67, full retirement age, and get the extra few $100s, and you're going to have to live now to be 80 years old to ever get back.
You are very generous, Real Melvis, and thank you so much to the community. And we'll circle back to Foodie one day just to have Tim not think it's all about him. Oh my gosh. I think I do want to go live about Chantel at some point because she looked like she was about to have a coronary after being on the treadmill. That was scary.
Back the break-even point of what you didn't collect that I've already collected. And like I say, the people that push back on they're waiting, well, what are you waiting for? To die? You can't take it with you. You know, money is only good if you use it to live. And I'm living now. And I'm here to promote because when I started talking about these videos, when I contemplated getting my Social Security at 62, it was right after the pandemic. And I was kind of put out of business. And a lot of boomers like me were put out of business. And so they started searching the web about Social Security. And quite a few people didn't even realize they could collect it at 62. They thought they had to wait till 65 because they knew about Medicare, or they were afraid to collect.
No, Tim. I don't know. You would have to be living under a rock in the United States to not know the different ages of Social Security. Now, people might get confused about their health benefits. And I think, but, you know, the Social Security age got extended because we were living longer, Tim. Because we weren't doing these heavy manual labor jobs as much. Most people are doing a lot of office work and stuff now. And we have better access to healthcare, supposedly. that can be a dubious sometimes here. Cost prohibitive sometimes.
At 62 because they would lose their insurance at their job. Well, remember, you're in the go-go years still. You're not in, anything can happen, but you're not in the danger zone of where, you know, your gizzards start wearing out like they do at 65 and onward. Remember these growth bursts, these growth aging bursts that we go through. How much insurance did you use when you were 21, 31, 41, 51? Yes, some people suffer a stroke and a heart attack in their 40s and 50s, and things can even happen in their 60s. If you've got that kind of a situation and you cannot even think about being without your insurance, you're using it now with your employer, that's a different story. But I never even had insurance my entire life because most of my life I worked for myself. So I just have to tell you, folks, life is to live.
Yes, you worked most of your life for yourself, Tim, and then you watched some YouTube videos. Probably that guy, I allegedly, because he had a bunch of stuff out, that guy Dan or whatever his name is, telling people how to get PPP and EIDL for bigger businesses, Tim, not some belly-to-belly oil change coupon guy who somehow got $58,400. Never been eligible. You weren't eligible for that, Tim.
Not to endure. And, you know, it's not cheap to buy insurance either. When you work for somebody, they're taking $300 to $500 a month out of your check if you got your family coverage. And then when people retire, and they get
$300 to $500 for family coverage, Tim, you have no idea what family coverage of health insurance is. Tim has no idea because he never covered anybody in his family. $300 to $500. That sounds like for a single person, Tim. Tim, you never had health insurance when you worked. And certainly you didn't have it for your children. Jesus, just stop the con.
65, you know, when you get to be eligible for Medicare, you can get that for free, you know. You don't have to pay for it. And a lot of people also argue that like they do about getting Social Security at 62. They think that insurance, the free one.
His career has been gift of the blab, trying to figure out how to get money and freebies out of people. Tim was trying to figure out, how can I get a champagne lifestyle on a beer budget?
is less than one they want to spend $500 a month for. And while you might have a few more locations you can go to and a few less copays, what does that work out to when you got to pay every month whether you use it or not? It's the same thing as collecting Social Security at 62, taking a less amount of money, but living your life now versus playing catch up at 67, getting a little bit more money. I mean, it's just such a shell game that so many people buy into, and I'm just not buying it. And I'm here to tell you that you don't need to buy it either. You need to listen and
Tim, you never wanted to work to 67. You always said you worked 3 hours a day, a few days a week, got a couple of hundos in your pocket, and off you rolled. And then you want to just talk about prison jobs and other people who actually are the reason why you are drawing a Social Security check, sir. Apart from the money that's in the trust, there's obviously the need to have people still working to contribute. I hope one of you did not eat the intersections of the toys over the squeaker. I see squeakers on the floor in plastic. Please don't eat plastic, dogs. Sorry. My dogs tore up their toys so bad.
Realize that it isn't just the money. You're going to age major after you reach 67 years old. So if you wait till then to start living your life, it's going to be a short one, and it can be very disappointing. And
well, Tim, you will age majorly if you didn't seek a healthcare provider, and then you're suddenly finding out that your blood work isn't great, or you're pre-diabetic, or you have high levels of cholesterol. Yeah, it's going to come as a shock. Also, drinking and alcohol and stuff can have a significant impact on the body too. Because you said you were a big drinker, partying a lot. And you're out frying yourself out here trying to get I know you think you're getting extra vitamin D. This isn't going to work. You're going to have to take it orally, Tim.
To be like, man, I should have took it 5 years ago when I had the ability, the health, and the desires to do all these things I wanted to do. Now look at me. I got this bigger check coming in for my Social Security, but I'm not doing anything. I'm not going anywhere. And with the fact that the world is changing rapidly, and with AI,
why does Tim always assume that if you're 67, which is the age he is now, that you kaput? Do you feel kaput, Tim? I mean, just 2 weeks ago, you were talking about, riding 30 miles on a dirt bike, standing up with some 20-year-olds. I'm thinking his blood work didn't come back that great. Because he's been on this whatever, suddenly went to the doctors and now he's selling everything. It's either he's trying to get a deposit together to go in with Tammy and actually, be able to be a named entity on that condo, because obviously if she's demanding that he pay half, well, then I'm going to be a name on the deed. I'm not going to be not on the deed, and put money down to somebody else. That would never happen in 1,000 years. But I'm just curious. I know next week I'm working extra because my colleague is taking a holiday. So I'm working 5 days next week and 5 days the following week. So I am back to prison hours.
And world unrest and all these kinds of things. Who wants to gamble on waiting for things to be so challenging? It's less challenging, to get less money and work a side hustle.
I don't know. I feel that, my energy may not be quite the same. I think that's more because I'm terrible sleep hygiene habits. I will agree to that. I have a tendency to fall asleep on the couch with the dogs and then wake up like, OMG. It's kind of what happens when you're single, unfortunately. Otherwise, mentally and thinking about things and trying to do stuff. And do I look like I'm 20? No, but that would be terrible. I don't want to spend, I don't want to be, I want to age with some grace, but I don't feel like my wheels are falling off quite yet. I mean, especially since I fit those varicose veins in my legs and stuff. Am I going to get arthritis? Absolutely. It's hereditary. And I know it's on its way. I don't know. I couldn't imagine like somebody telling me like, you're not going to be working in 5 years. I would actually find that surprising. Like I said, I don't need to necessarily have to work every hour of the day, but I'm at a place where it's still, in my career that even, working slightly less, I'm still earning more than I earned like in the starting years of my career as far as Social Security is concerned, because those were salaries that were in the, in times that were much smaller federal, rates of pay and stuff. So, I mean, it makes sense as much as you can, especially with inflation and your income going up, to have the years where you're potentially earning more income. Also with ageism, I wouldn't just want to take a job. If I could figure out with the job how I could potentially decrease my hours and still maintain, my benefits as far as my health insurance, then I would say that's probably the ideal thing to do. I mean, unless you're just so rich or, one of your spouses you're able to take off and you want to go spend time with your grandkids or something, or volunteer work, or I do think life needs to have a purpose, and it shouldn't be the purpose of putting out this content slop.
Than it is to deal with health challenges and a changing world, or where you can't even go and do the things that we used to do. I mean, think about how the world has changed since you were a young person. If you're approaching the 62 age, like I know what things used to be like and how it was. Let's take a look at that sun now. So I'm just here to tell you that numbers can be finagled. The financial people do it. You can read people that think they know everything. People that are just mad because they did wait and they don't want you to enjoy your life. There's people like that, They don't want anybody to be happy.
Yeah, we don't want Tim enjoying his life. I guess on the dime of the American taxpayer, probably not. Considering that you don't think that anybody else should get anything. You get all upset about anybody else. Socialism is for me, but not for thee.
They want you to be miserable like they are. Well, I'm telling you, I'm here to tell you, I'm a happy camper. I'm living my life completely solo and free. I have excellent health, pretty much. I got a little vision problem, but who doesn't after 40? And
a little vision problem. Tim, most 67-year-olds aren't dealing with raging glaucoma the way you are. Because they've probably been to an ophthalmologist and had their eyes taken care of and checked, and all the dilations and all the stuff you're supposed to do. And all the new tests they have so they can do the x-rays behind your eyes and all the, things. I need to get with my ophthalmologist. Goodness me. I need to get you buried for a little bit, Tim. Not have to worry about you being out of control so I can get some other stuff done in my life. Because there's a lot of time that I use that is not seen in front of this camera that I take dealing with Tim and his nonsense behaviors.
I'm able to do what I want to do, and I have no debt, and I own some things that are very valuable.
All
that
right,
I was able.
Tim. This is, this is an absolute, that's not true. That's not true, Tim. Just in a video the other day, you talked about the fact that you had your care credit debt. That was $6,000 to $7,000 for your teeth, sir. And I have a feeling you're not making the minimum payments on that card. I have a feeling that you're going to just leave it there until that full amount is due. And that is not what you want to do with a care credit card. You are going to, the second you don't pay that thing when it's due, you're going to be owing everything. And that 6,000 is going to suddenly look like 10 because they will hit you. So that's already a absolute porky pie. That's Cockney, okay? Because Tim decided that he was going to listen to some kids from London, and he was going to be all an expert on the different accents from the UK, and not realizing that somebody who's a Cockney is from a specific area in London. The only way to be a true Cockney, Tim, is that you have to be born within the hearing distance of the Bow Bells. And if you're not born within the hearing distance of the Bow Bells, you are not a Cockney. That's it. You've literally got to be born in Bow Hospital. A friend of mine was engaged to a true Cockney. He literally was born in Bow. from the hearing distance of the Bow Bells. It's the only way you can be a Cockney. Otherwise, you can't be a Cockney. That's it. And some Cockney rhyming slang, Tim. You're telling porky pies out here, mate. Porky pies mean lies. And you're telling a ton of them today, sweetheart, because you are not debt free. You still have that money that is a UCC filing. And guess what? You'll be reminded of that very soon again.
Able to do because I didn't squander my money away most of my life.
What?
So we're going to make some more videos and continue to talk about this regarding Social Security. But
you didn't squander your money away? Your life? What in the lie and influencer lie? YouTuber absolute. Is this a sunset or a sunrise? Why does that sun look weird? I don't trust him. It looks like a sunset happening, not a sunrise. Yeah, he just said no debt. Right, up to the right. I tell the body language of a liar. Oh, an absolute liar. He's got that EIDL. He's got at least 60 grand sitting in debt still. At least 60. Yes, no, Sandmail's not squandering money. No, can we go back and look at that? Yes, I'll slow him down too. And then we're gonna finish it up here, guys. Oh, other than I'm gonna show that one window where he said it was morning chat and it looked like pitch black night. It's like, what time in the morning are you talking at, Tim? All right, I gotta go back. I gotta go back a little bit because if I don't go back enough, then it's like I cut the speech. Okay. Normal speed.
well, I'm telling you, I'm here to tell you, I'm a happy camper. I'm living my life completely solo and free. I have excellent health, pretty much. I got a little vision problem, but who does?
Excellent help. Didn't he have a coronary artery calcium score over 1,000? Which is like almost like a death nail. Promise you, I told you my friend. He works in cardiology at a hospital level. I think we would disagree, Tim. And it's interesting that you talk about longevity and aging because all of those longevity and aging specialists, even that creepy Peter Attia guy, they love statin medications, okay? They are all about some statins. They think you should have been on a statin starting at age 20. So you don't fall into the longevity specialist types of purview.
Doesn't after 40. And I'm able to do what I want to do. And I have no debt. And I own some things that are very valuable that I was able to do because I didn't squander my money away most of my life. So we're going to make some more videos and continue to talk about this regarding Social Security. But
it doesn't set until 6 p.m. in Sarasota today. Okay. So I took it. So can we end with, so I took it? He did take it. Oh, I know what part you're talking about on the EIDL video. Yeah, he took that money.
it is a scam, folks, that you get 30% less. It is not true. It is true you get less.
I don't know. I would listen to Dr. Ed Weir.
But you also get, when you get the more, that 30%, you got $108,000 less that you didn't collect. So you tell me where the truth is. And that's the truth. Crush it.
He's just going to keep this going. He just makes it up as he goes along. Yes, he does. He just makes it up as he goes along. Because the other day, he just makes it up. He just topic is Social Security. Yeah, he just feels he should talk about it all day long. Now he's at 28.4 million views. Lord of my life. How he does it, I don't know. That was very sad. Eric Dane passed away. All right, what we got? I wanted to show this last bit and then we're going to finish it up. This morning chat. Here. he says, I think it was, I saw it said morning chat. And I was like, it's not even morning. Oh, no, that was on the beach. Where was one where he's sitting in? I think this was one in the morning. He said it was morning. I want to say it was this good to be bored. I want to say he said it was, okay. So Tim says it's the morning time. We're not going to watch much. But look, he's got the shade down. That usually says probably not. I mean, just something about this doesn't give me the feel of morning light in his trailer. Take it away.
Put on some deodorant. I need a little foo-foo juice. Here we go.
I got to put Tim in.
Always got it on me.
Guys.
Let's put a little on. One little spritz will do you. I don't want to run myself out of here. Yeah, put it right here. Oh, yeah. Hey, one more. Oh, man. I smell good. Well, look, folks. I had this coffee made this morning. I only made it this morning. I didn't have leftover. It's got beautiful color. It is Dunkin' Donuts coffee. And it is cold because I had only 1 cup this morning. I wanted to save and have a couple. It's actually a little lukewarm. And I definitely got to nuke it before I put my new cream in.
Does anybody think it's morning? I don't think he filmed this in the morning. I don't know. Something about this whole vibe, this window. And usually this isn't that. I don't think it's that thick. I just feel like this does not give me a morning vibe. This is just the lie that comes
Put it in
out
there for a
of
minute
him.
and a half.
Yeah, I smell bacon.
It's not good when it gets too hot. I've had that. It's
I
perfect
smell
when it's hot.
bacon.
All right. We got us a brand new jug. Yeah, the cup I had this morning, I only had like a little left. See if I got that just right for you guys.
Now let's see if he ever shows the clock. Well, his clock is like an hour behind or something. For this, I don't know. I just don't think it's morning, Tim. I think you filmed and just uploaded it this morning.
There you go. Huh? All right, let's get a little shake.
Well,
Somebody said it turns it into butter.
That
You never get these
well,
things.
if it's morning for Tim, it's like 4 a.m. Just wild then.
Open. You ever have a hard time with this? I got it.
That's what we got.
And the next time it's hard is getting this, but I got it.
Well,
Things are going good.
that's
It's going to be a good
okay.
day.
But in reality, we know he's probably doing this at 3 or 4 in the morning. And there is an increase in cortisol that can happen at around 3 a.m. And it can make it very difficult for people to get back to sleep because of these cortisol surges. So Tim may be experiencing something like that. Who knows? I mean, he drinks coffee all day long. But it's just interesting that he sets up this video. And it's just like, it feels like not a morning. It doesn't have a morning vibe, but he could have.
Temperature's going to be 80 degrees, sunny, South Florida, hot. Air conditioner ran all night. Well, that's not true.
But it's just like, it's pitch black. It's like,
I woke up at 4. Woke up at 11 because I went to bed early. I woke up at 11. I couldn't believe that. I knew I was going to. You ever wake up at like 10 or 11 or 1 and you swear it's 6 in the morning and you're like, are you kidding? It wasn't hard to go back to sleep though. But at 11, I was like, whoa, you really were tired yesterday because getting up at 4, 7:30 last night, I was like, you can't go to bed yet. Anyway, went back to sleep. And at 4 this morning.
Well, it's a hypnotic. And so any type of medication is going to have side effects. So any long-term use of any medication, obviously, you're going to have more chance of having a side effect from it.
It's either 4:06, 4:07, 4:03, somewhere a few minutes after 4, I'm up. And I stay up. I get up. I come out here. I read the devotional. I put on YouTube. And there's this little kid that plays a guitar. He's in London. He's got like 500,000 people watching him. He's so cute. And he goes and does what he calls busking.
Oh, no.
Where they go on street corners and play.
All right, let's move him along. This is where he talks about the kid in England and doesn't know what a cockney is. And I've already discussed that.
He just had to read something. And it was like, wow, I can know anything in the world if I just want to read it. I just ask this Google and I get the answer. And then now it's AI and it speaks to you. And you can then ask a follow-up question. And it remembers what you said 2 hours ago or earlier that morning or even yesterday. You can put it in like, remember this about me or my YouTube channel or where I live or what I ride, my motorcycle. I've gotten kind of deep into it. And it always includes when it speaks to you now about what it knows about you. So it learns. And it's really, to even talk like this when I was growing up in high school, we wouldn't even talk like this because we didn't know how. We couldn't even imagine that something like this would be possible. They didn't even they may have.
I guess Tim never read Brave New World by Aldous Huxley. I mean, that book was written in the 30s, Tim. There were plenty of writers who were predicting all sorts of things in their books. They predicted test tube babies in Brave New World. Maybe you should read that book, Tim.
You know, shown things that, you know, like jetpacks and flying cars.
does
More
already.
cartoonish, more than real. They got that now. But these humanoids, they call them humanoids, literally are going to be able to replace.
Tim's never read a book in his life, but now he's going to be an anti-aging specialist on YouTube. And because, you know, he asked AI how to stay healthy.
Hard manual labor. They don't get stressed out from the heat. They're stronger. They go all day. They don't need one shower. And they are going to, you know. So the guy on 60 Minutes was like, well, aren't you afraid of this? It's just going to, you know, ruin the world. And, you know, we're just going to be, what are we going to do? And the guy.
Yes, Tim is convinced by those accents. They're so bad, dude. They're so over the top.
That's building the robot. They always get an answer because they want money to come in to fund them to keep building these things that are putting us out of jobs or out of importance. We're still going to need people to maintain them. We're still going to need people to program them or to build them, or you know, we're still going to need the trucks. Hell, they're going to have, they got self-driving cars. They'll probably have self-driving trucks. So it's becoming, like I said earlier, the word exponential. It's just by the day they're learning. They showed this humanoid laying on the ground. And you know how we have to get up, especially at my age. You got to roll
Tim's not even scared that they're already smarter than he is.
over your side, put your knee up, grab your hand on the floor, push yourself up. This thing just erects. It just comes up. And all these different joints, like
Tim.
4 different.
Oh, Tim, no. I haven't done a drop the whole thing.
I can't even get erect.
Tim can't even get erect.
Things that can turn, articulate, to move ways we can't even think of. We can't. You know, we only have this movement here. I was watching it, and when it got about 10 minutes into the show, you got to check it out. 60 Minutes in January.
Yeah, ChatGPT is a turncoat.
The thing was dancing and running and jogging. It wasn't.
Yeah, ChatGPT is his turncoat now. I am going to have to get a copy of that thing where Mark Zuckerberg gets served, and I'm just going to have to clip that for the "you got served." And that was awesome. That process server did their job. They didn't even care. They got right in there. You got served. You're getting served, Mr. Zuckerberg.
You know, clunky. It was like a person. I couldn't believe my eyes. Neither could the guy doing the interview. And this is already now. This is already now. So, man, I don't know. And it's coming faster. And that's another thing. I watched another video. Let me talk about that, since we're talking about everything. The guy I watch, who does a lot of financial information, he's really popular. He said that.
Great. This is Tim's ramblings on a cortisol spike at 3:30 in the morning, in my opinion. Great. This would be like me just standing up in my kitchen, like rattling off, like whatever off in my brain. All right, Tim. Let's take it through the Virginia Wolf. Let's get let's get down to every little nitty gritty detail of your life. This is full modernism here in action. This is like stream of consciousness. This is full James Joycean. I mean, this is full blown. You cannot get more stream of consciousness, modernist style of art than watching Tim at this moment in time. This is like literally describing how Alfred J. Prufrock, puts his spoon into his teacup and stirs and thinks about the monotony of his life. That is Tim. He is the love song of J. Alfred Prufrock. Oh my goodness, Tim. Hold on. Let me find my thing. There we go. Keep going, Tim.
What was he? Oh yeah, interest rates. The narrative that we're hearing about low inflation to get interest rates to cut are a good narrative. And whether they're selling a narrative.
Yeah, he's reflecting.
The media, the government, they're selling you a narrative, and it's up to you if you want to buy it. And unfortunately, a lot of gullible people that haven't woke up yet to the fact that every single thing you watch on that tube is a scam. Every commercial promoting any kind of a car warranty or the media or any of it, it's just baloney by a long shot.
And Tim is at the pile at the top of the baloney pile.
So Trump and his cronies and everybody is all trying to get interest rates to be cut. And that's going to give a tailwind to stocks and gold. And, it's all manufactured, folks. It's all a way to create wealth for the wealthy. They've already got a toe in. And now, they're not. That's why you see them fighting so hard, is one is jealous of the other. They want to be able to rule the world and steal everything and control all the wealth. I don't care if one says, oh, no, we're for the poor people. We're the blue collar. But
Tim, you just let your narcissism and the type of, social depravity that you have just come on out. It's just all about getting one up on the other. That's why he doesn't care that he took your taxpayer dollars. And he actually felt that he was entitled to your money. He was entitled to my money and your money and anybody else who's paid taxes properly in this country's money. Entitled to it.
Baloney. They're some of the wealthiest. I'm getting off on a tangent, but I'm just going to tell you right now that, I see it. I see what's going on. I've been seeing it. And I try to tune it out, but it's coming in on YouTube now. Like these thumbnails will pop up of these things. Not news. I don't watch clips of Fox News and CNN. You can do that. Especially if you watch one, you're going to get more. It's like anything else. Whatever you watch, that
Tim, your nose has got bigger by about 6 inches on that one.
Garbage crap. You'll get requested more. Like, you like garbage? Here's just some garbage. They want you to watch anything because it's all about ad revenue to the TV, to Google, to the broadcast system. Yeah. It's all about them putting commercials on there for you to see, to buy stuff. It is. And don't forget, Tim, and Tim, don't forget, you tell your subscribers to make sure that they watch all of your ads so that you can get your YouTube monetization. Oh, that's why, if you guys are watching my ads, thank you. I appreciate it. Hit the likes on the way up. At least, I'll be honest, I'm monetized, the little tiny bit of most of my revenue, I'm going to say, comes through you guys being extra generous. It does not really come because of my views. I'm such a tiny channel. So I thank my community because, I'm not making fortunes with YouTube AdSense. Not like Tim over here. It used to be just to get you to watch something that they thought they could make interesting so you'd see a commercial. But now it's not just that. They want to brainwash you and sell you a narrative.
Oh, yeah. I know Dante's Inferno very well. And Tim is there.
Now with AI it's almost every video you click on YouTube now is an AI video. Even the ones that you can tell are AI, but they got some that are hard to tell. But they're totally AI generated. The script, the video, the people, everything. In every genre or imaginable thing, especially talking stuff. Whether it be religion.
Believe it or not, I was a literature, English language lit major when I was studying education. How I ended up in the science field, I don't know. That's how I know a thing or two. I've read a couple of books because I did study literature. But I feel like I'm getting stupider by the day. Like I don't have the time to read like I'd like to. I can get through if I'm going to read, it's probably going to be a journal at the moment to my profession. Just sadly. When I was traveling as an RN again, and I wasn't having to maintain a home, because my condo was just here staying hopefully kind of clean, because I wasn't living in it and I was traveling and just living in, smaller accommodation. I had more time to read and it was really nice. At the moment, by the time I get any chance to actually sit and read, I will fall asleep within a page. And just the thought of sitting down and reading, I don't think I could do it now because I always have so much cleaning and second shift work to do. My second shift life is horrible. So I'm glad I was able to enjoy reading when I was. And I'm hoping in retirement that's something I get a chance to do again. When I travel or go out of town or get a chance to actually sit on an airplane or do anything of that nature, I take a book because it's finally a chance I can get to read. But I fall asleep on planes too. So And I don't travel like I used to because I have to say a lot of the time that I used to use for reading is probably now used with the dogs.
Or informative things, whatever, you know. And not all of it's really bad because they are using an intelligent way of sharing, you know. There's always good, you know.
Yes, you have to get back to the beginning on the wall
one to progress because there's good in it, but it can also be used, and it's being used right now for such bad. It's just, I don't know where our country's going to go with all this.
Oh, Tim now getting upset with AI. I actually had a good AI experience yesterday. I was surprised. I don't usually try to talk to the AI at anything because I feel like, you know, that they just took 3 jobs from people, but I'm getting an oil change next week. I need to get my car oil changed before I hit 55,000 miles on my car. And I'm like at 54,545 and I drive at least 60 miles a day. And I'm going to be like so close because I was not able to get an appointment until Friday. At the Tuesday, I wasn't able to take that appointment because I'm working that morning. And so I'm like right at the end of my maintenance plan I had. And I didn't realize, I suddenly looked, I was like, oh, and I drove a bunch on Thursday. I drove a lot of miles going all over the place. And I suddenly was like, oh my gosh, I'm going to get this oil change. My last one is part of this maintenance package. Yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, life is wild.
AI putting jobs out. But finally, the world is now what we've always predicted it to be. A new world, a new beginning, a reset. That was the whole thing with the pandemic.
Oh, so anyway, my AI story is that I had to speak to the AI to make my appointment. So they kept, you know, offering me, you know, the date on the Tuesday. And then I just was talking to the AI and they were able just to see from my phone number who I was when I called. It was wild. And just, I was able to make the appointment really easily with the AI. Much easier than like going online and trying to make the appointment. So I felt like I was actually having a conversation with this thing and it was wild. So that's like, you know, the first time, like, and that was just at like my car dealership, which isn't a big one necessarily, but I was surprised at how good this little Mia thing was and getting my appointment. And, you know, I was like, I need a tire rotation and this, you know, I was surprised.
You don't believe that, do you? Let me just tell you something. There's always a means to an end. And they don't think of things and say, well, maybe next month we can convince them to do this. They've been thinking about stuff for decades. They got think tanks. Even though they may not even be around, they still want it to progress to.
Oh, yeah. My job is, the place where I work has got to be 20 some miles from my house. And yeah, it takes me some time. It's not unusual to do those types of driving distances here in this country. You know, it's like you always like work in one city and live in another. I don't know what. I never can get a job that's close to my house. And even if it is close, even if it's 2 miles away, it'll probably take me 20 minutes to get there because wherever it's 2 miles away from my house, if I have to not be on the interstate, it takes a while Virginia Beach is a very large city. A very big city. It's a huge city. Huge. It's massive.
At this point, at some day
massive
in the
city.
future. And
now,
it's happening. And I believe, my belief.
I get nothing. I get absolutely nothing. You don't get anything. And I do home health, absolutely nothing. Because they just see that as driving to my job and back. The only way that you would get any type of like mileage is if you they would have you drive from your home to the first location. And then after that first location, then you could start getting mileage. But they're always going to say that first journey and then the last journey, those are just like your regular trips back and forth to work. Oh, it's terrible.
Is when you read about end times in the Bible, I can see how it's starting. I can see when people are hungry and got no job or no self-worth, or they got nothing but a phone, they can't sit there and think and be bored for.
That's why people end up being like absolute, America, you better be on your game here, guys, as we know. And then that's why you get so many just like rough and tough con artists like Sarasota Tim.
Without having to pick something up because they start. Here's what the guy said. Let me go back to that. This was a very interesting video this morning. Guy's just sitting in a chair. He's from Harvard or somewhere. And he says,
all right,
that when you get bored and you put your phone down, or you try to leave it home one day, which
Tim would not have the capacity to get bored on anything. So I've already had you guys for 2 hours and 45 minutes. Tim is starting to bore me with whatever the heck he's talking about here. So we're just going to leave it here, guys. I think we caught up with Tim. I don't think he's got anything else happening of interest that we need to catch up with. We can tell it's the same old, same old. He is obviously popping his videos out in the morning. He is disappearing at night, and we have no idea what he's up to. Except for the fact that we do know that he is selling some stuff on his YouTube. And I can let you know, we have some items just to catch you up. Tim supposedly has now been reducing the prices of items. He's bringing everything down in price. So he is not, his Blue Eddy power bank had been listed for $15.99, is now at $14.99. And thank you, Debbie, for this information. His e-bike, the one that he just did the review on, that is for sale. It was $850. Now it's $799. His lithium battery, he was wanting $150 for that. He has now brought that down to $129. The motorcycle suit that he was trying to sell for $195, he has now taken down to $179. And now he has a 3-piece Gravity Bistro set. That was $150 down to $139. Potentially sold or removed were the motorcycle touring bags, the e-scooter, and the Battleborn battery. So he might have been able to have sold those. But Tim is starting to lower the prices from his sale. You miss working from home all week? Oh, I know. I think that I know that a lot of people appreciated being able to work from home because the time traveling and the expense of lunch and just all of that is really stressful because most of us, when we get home, as you know, we get home to a second shift. We're doing dishes, we're cleaning up the house, we're walking the dogs, we're doing laundry, and it just goes on from there. And most weekends, I know that, these last few days I've been off, I've tried to prepare for the fact that I need to be at work for 5 days next week. And it's going to be, and the 2 of the days I, have to go with the patient out to their appointments. And it's tiring because I have to carry a bunch of stuff. And the patient obviously has complex medical needs. And so there's a complexity of taking this patient out of the home. And so there's all sorts of things. And it's right at the end where I've already been working for days. And the reason why we come and help is because it's exhausting to take care of children with special needs. And so I know, and then I have 2 days off, and then I'm doing another 5. And it's 40 hours without a break when I go to work, 40 hours plus, because I'm constantly on, because I'm taking responsibility. The parents are not in the home at this time. It's just me and the patient. And so I am fully responsible, and I can't leave. So I am locked down, and I can't get a cup of coffee. There's nothing. If you don't have it on you, you're not going to get it, So it's definitely, it's definitely harder when you do that, And Tim has no idea because Tim's never really had a job where he's had to put himself behind the needs of others. Tim has no idea what it is to put the needs of something else in front of him. I don't even think for his own children would he have been capable of doing that. And especially not for somebody else's loved ones or family members or somebody, and when you're doing that, you all at that time to put their needs ahead of yours, and so I don't think he's got an idea. I don't even know what it's like. All day childcare as a nurse alone. Yeah, pretty much. Oh yeah, I am there alone. Well, it's not really, I wouldn't say quite childcare because I have a lot of charting to do and I have a child with complex needs. So I wouldn't call it childcare. It's definitely nursing care, not childcare. Childcare is relatively easy to nursing care because I can't say too much because obviously I don't want to give any details of the patient, but it's a lot more than that. I promise you. And I love it though. I wouldn't change it for the world. I adore my patient and very much feel part of the a very important and integral part of ensuring that this patient does very well in her health successes in order for her to be somebody who is independent in her adulthood. And so that she has the best in success in life and is able to get a good and full life. And so that's really the goal. And she is. I mean, we're talking, we got all sorts of fun stuff going on. But it was tiring. Like I had been at work all week. And on my final day, we had to go to her doctor's appointments at a hospital. And, I know at that point, I'm off with the family. This is a lot. It's a lot. It's there at the appointments. It's, listening. There's a lot of emotional toil that goes because there's a lot of emotion that goes with the family having to find out about things with the patient. And you are having to be there as their support system as well. So there's a lot that goes in nursing, other than just the, hands-on care. I think Mary Call knows that. District nurses, as they call them here, are become like part of the family. Oh, I know. My family never wants anything to happen to me. Yes, I pretty much am treated like part of the family. Yes, I'm what you would call a district nurse. Yeah. And it's very all parents have to work. No, it's not necessarily, but it does help that they do have their insurance to supplement what Medicaid is not able to cover. So obviously some is covered by Medicaid and other is covered by the parents. And obviously this patient also has complex medical needs, and it can be exhausting. The family has her all night. And in order to not wear these families out, this is where you need to have nursing assistants because of the complex needs. And that's all I'm going to say. It just means that, yeah. Well, I would be what we call a home health. Yeah. What I understand as a district nurse. With somebody who works at home. But in the United States, it's, private business because, we're not, quite the same. But it is what would be considered kind of a district nurse. People who are working in the community. It's just different. It's different terms, Catherine and Gen X. Just different terminologies for different types. But certain parts of the country may have them. In older East Coast cities might have more of those community. Well, that's very different community health from home health. Very different. Your dad was grumpy, felt sorry for our district nurse sometimes. She was very tolerant. You have a friend with a child with complicated medical needs. It's very tiring. It can be very draining. And there's a lot that they do need to manage kind of, away from just inside the home. All right, guys, I've had you for way too long now, and I got to get back to my second shift, getting ready for my work. And I will keep you guys posted. if Tim does some fun videos, I'll try to get out some live streams this week and have a little bit of fun. But obviously, if I start to disappear over the week, it's probably because I've just started, I've got, like I said, it's a drive, and I'm working 5 days this week, and it's going to be probably tiring, and I got to do it the following week too. So it just, if we have, like I said, we always have appointments and places to go, and yeah, so I'm expecting it to be a busy week with a lot of charting. Gosh, the charting is what kills me. My job is pleasant. The charting is an absolute mare. I mean, I'm doing potty training at the moment, guys. It's like, so it's so funny to talk about Tim, because I have a feeling sometimes my patient's more mature. All right. Hit the likes on the way out. I certainly do appreciate you all for doing that. And I will see you on the next one. Thank you at the Real Melvis for adding 10 Good Life memberships to the community today. That was just so generous and so kind. And I hope they do check us out and join the community. If you haven't had a chance, please go and check it out. We did some fun stuff yesterday. And we're just going to keep an eye and see how Tim does and what he gets up to. All right, guys, don't be bored.
Life and Vibe, thanks so much. My queen, my Sarasota Tim expert.